Hip-hop is the biggest genre on the planet. The money, the fame, the culture, you name it. From the outside, it looks like a dream, but the industry has a side that they don't put in music videos. The shady contracts, the beefs that turned deadly, the legends who lost everything, and the secrets that stay buried for decades. Behind every platinum plaque, there's a price that somebody paid. Today, we're stepping into the shadows of the game. It's your boy louaista, and this is the dark side of hip-hop. First emerging onto the scene as part of the world-class Wrecking Crew, the man, then better known as Andre Young, had dreams of making it. But he knew that as someone who was more talented behind the boards than with a pen in his own hand, there was little chance that he could make it alone as an artist. With that, he linked up with Eazy-E, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and DJ Yella to form the iconic NWA. But back then, it was only supposed to be a little experiment that gained more traction than they could have ever dreamed of.
Lonzo, who ran the Wrecking Crew, really wouldn't let Dre do the hardcore records that he really started to want to do. So me and Dre started doing mixtapes. I would do the hardcore raps on the mixtapes talking about the neighborhood. Well, Eazy, which is Dre's old friend, got one of the tapes, tracked Dre down, and was like, yo, I've been hustling on the street, and I want to flip some of this money. I want to have a label. We should do an all-star group. This is what Eazy said. We should do an all-star group. We'll take the best out of, I'll be Eazy. We take Dre and Yella out of the Wrecking Crew. We'll take Cube out of, I had a group called CIA. We just do the side group hardcore records, and then y'all can go back and do slow jams and whatever y'all was doing.
A group unlike anything that the mainstream had ever heard before, their hard-hitting approach to gritty street reporting became such a smash that they ended up on the FBI's radar and wore the title of the world's most dangerous group like a badge of honor. But for all the greatness they achieved, their gradual breakup and the relationships he'd have with some of the members after the fact showed early signs of Dre's cunning ways, and it all began with deciding to sacrifice his friendship with Ice Cube once things got tense. When Ice Cube left the group over a contract dispute with Eazy-E and Jerry Heller's Ruthless Records, the belief, as he departed to start his solo career, was that the rest of them initially were cordial.
You know what it is? It wasn't the group itself. The group was never mad at each other. I don't care what people say. We never had argument, never had problem. There's always somebody on the outside.
But in an attempt to undermine their former friend, NWA released 100 Miles and Running, which featured a few shots at Cube. After that, they started referring to him as famous traitor Benedict Arnold on their second studio album.
They dissed me real good, They call me Benedict Arnold, all kind of names on No Vaseline.
Okay, they diss you on the line, you kind of diss them back on the line. Do you think it was over? Okay, you said yours,
Yeah.
I said mine, I'm done. Let's move on them. You thought it was over.
Yeah, because I still like them dudes. I had a problem with Eazy and Jerry, but I'm still cool with Dre and Yella and Ren.
Eventually, he lost his cool, leading him to decimate his former crew on the famed diss track No Vaseline.
For them to diss me on their EP, 100 Miles and Running, I kind of threw a little jab with Jacking for Beats at the end. And then they came with another, like, a couple little disses. I said, okay, man, I'm tired of this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna end this real quick or we gonna set it all the way off.
Right.
So that's when I wrote No Vaseline, recorded it. I put it on that Cinderfella track, that Dana Dane track, Cinderfella. We flipped it and it became a smash.
With that, NWA's fate was uncertain. And as Dre began to see the same financial trickery that led Cube to want to cut ties, the group did the unthinkable and broke up after a #1 album. At that stage, Dre began to lobby to get out of his contract with the help of none other than the intimidating and ultimately infamous Suge Knight. But before Knight could become his benefactor at death row, he first had to get out of his deal with Ruthless. And in this sense, many believe Dre snaked Eazy by setting him up to get pressured by Suge during a meeting that went on to become one of the most talked about moments in hip-hop history. But whichever version of the story you believe, Dre is the common denominator in getting Eazy into that treacherous position.
He said that Dre called him, to meet with him to sign over, sign him, get him out the contracts or release him or whatever. But when he get there, Suge was there. So they was in a hotel room. Suge had dudes hiding in the closet under the bed. And when he get up there, Suge locked the door. All these cats come from under the bed and out the closet in the bathroom with guns. You know what I'm saying?
And Dre was in there?
Dre wasn't there.
Oh, Dre wasn't there at all?
Nah, Dre set it up though.
Okay, so
because he didn't hate Dre. You know what I'm saying? As people try to portray, he didn't. They was friends once upon a time.
They were really close friends at one point. So you're telling me that Dre called Eazy for a meeting.
For Suge though.
But when Easy showed up, Dre wasn't there,
Dre
but
wasn't
Suge
there,
was there.
Suge was there.
As damning as that is on its own, Suge claimed that if it was up to Dre, it could have actually gone further.
Dre wanted Easy dead. When he first said it, I thought it was a joke. I know he ain't built like that. You talking about a guy who's scared to deal with a guy who viciously beat up his brother, stumped him out, kicked his head on the curb and killed him. The more I laughed as a joke, the more serious I thought he was. I knew one thing. Me and Easy had to meet to have a real business conversation to negotiate these demands of making it better for everyone. Andre told me like this: I want Easy dead. I want to hear it. I want pictures. I want all this crazy shit.
In his version of events, Suge claimed that the meeting was built on a lie, that Dre wanted to return to the fold.
He said, look, man, I ain't gonna be dealing with Suge no more. I'm gonna come back and then deal with you. I don't wanna leave Ruthless. I'm happy to where everything is. You my boy. Matter of fact, I want you to be on this song, on this album I'm working on. I want you to do a couple of songs. And I heard Easy say, well, who all gonna be there? He said, man, I'm in the studio by myself. Nobody even know I'm working. Just come to the studio, Galaxy Studio in Cahuenga. Tell security you coming to see me. They're gonna let you up. I'm the only one in the studio. The thing is this: I'm in the studio. Eric walks in. He was surprised. I stood up to shake Eric's hand. He was probably feels intimidating because what? Easy is like 5'2", 5'3", and I'm 6'3".
But when the Ruthless Records figurehead found out what was really going down, it broke Easy's heart.
You want me dead? My mama? Tears flowed down. Even if I was gonna whoop Eric's ass, everything was out the window. I never in my life seen a grown man look so motherfucking sad. I told Eric like this: your secret's safe with me.
And no matter whose tale you believe, none of it reflects well on Dre, as he turned his back on that man that first invested in him. In all the world renditions of the story, the one thing that remains consistent is Andre made the call to lure Easy into the trap, the betrayal of Easy. Damn Dre. Although this story is a major blemish on Dre's permanent record, it's just one example which would suggest that loyalty hasn't always been his strong suit, as when things get tough, Dre gets out of dodge. Back during the glory days of Death Row, Dr. Dre not only made a star out of Snoop Doggy Dogg, but a true ally. But that didn't mean he was going to run the risk of letting any of the hang-ups from Snoop's street life affect his pockets. In another Blockbuster interview, Suge lifted the lid on why Dr. Dre never attended Snoop Dogg's murder trial, alleging picking business interests over aligning with his friend.
Dr. Dre, he didn't go up there to support Snoop because he said that Interscope told Dre that it's no point of going up there because he ain't gonna win a trial or whatever.
I don't know why he didn't show up, because when Suge say shit, you know what I mean? He makes sure that whoever he's punching at, if that's the person that he punching at, if he put it on Dre, he punch hard. So I don't quite know if it's because of Dre and didn't come because Interscope said don't come. And I can't say that I was there every moment to know that Dr. Dre never showed that support.
This led to friction with fellow Death Row rapper Tupac, as the legendary artist saw this abandonment of his friend as a sign that Dre shouldn't be trusted.
Snoop was on trial for murder, fighting for his life. Somebody had said that Dre was in the car. The jury believed that. We needed Dre to be there to say he wasn't there. And once they would have saw him, they would have known he wasn't there. And that would have saved Snoop's whole case. Because they would have saw that the witness that had said it was lying. And Dre never showed up. He was too busy. That's how they told me. When they told me that, I was like, well, no matter how dope he is, and Dre's one of my heroes in the music business, but I was like, no matter how dope he is, if he's not down for his homeboy, Snoop, who brought him back when he was just a relic, when niggas was dissing him, you know what I mean? Then I don't want to be a part of him. I don't want to be around him or nothing. Plus, I feel as though what's done in the dark will come to light. It's secrets that everybody's gonna find out about that I don't have to play a hate or dry snitch about. That will come out, you'll find out for yourself, and you'll know why I did it.
And by the sounds of songs and interviews conducted in the lead up to Pac's untimely death in 1997, he clearly held the grudge.
If you were that shit, I love you, but if you homo, Dre not gonna be here today. Not today. Dre not gonna be here. He said he wanna be here. If you looking for Dre, not gonna be here. Yeah, peanut.
As much as disloyalty disgusts both hip-hop fans and those within the industry alike, it doesn't tend to be enough to get you exiled from the genre, unless you've turned into an informant. However, one thing that Dr. Dre likely should have caught a lot more flack for is how he treated his fellow man and the women around him. Among the darkest things to ever be attributed to the Compton legend is the fact that his relationships and interactions interactions with girls have often led to allegations of abuse, and in some cases, they've actually been confirmed. One of the most notable incidents is his time with former Death Row artist Machele. Aside from producing some of her hits of the era, Dre found himself romantically involved with the singer. Although musicians getting together is not exactly a problem, the first red flag was that she was allegedly a minor when they first hooked up.
Michelle was still 16 and later turned 17 in December, and Dre, who had a baby on the way from a previous relationship, was 22. The couple later became engaged and had their son Marcel in February 1991. Marcel was Michelle's first child and Dre's sixth. Dude was 22, talking to a 16-year-old. Turned 17. Dre, why weren't you talking to women in their 20s? Why were you talking to 16, 17-year-olds? That's creepy. If that's not predator activity, I don't know what is.
But that was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to how dark it could get. Because according to her, Dre also put his hands on her frequently over the course of their relationship.
One night he came in, I guess he went out with Doc and yelling and came in drunk and just took off. I have no idea, but that was the first time. And woke up the next morning and I kid you not, didn't have a conversation about it at all. He gave me some money to go to the grocery store to buy some sunglasses. That's it.
Seeing Dr. Dre in this light is uncomfortable, especially because for many people, he's been the architect behind the soundtrack to their lives. But once they hear it, people struggle to reconcile with the way he's treated by the rap community and the music industry at large. The fact that this man has a Grammy Award named after him is insane. I believe every word. Considering the things that he's done, it really does call into question whether there should be such a thing as a Dr. Dre Global Impact Award after all, particularly considering this is far from the only story like this. After all, this is the man who was once hounded by the media for slapping Pump It Up's D Barnes. In the view of NWA promoter Doug Young, this went down because D gave Cube airtime to discuss his feud with Dre and the group.
Ice Cube on Pump It Up. I got all suckers 100 miles and running. Like to give a shout out to the DOC. Y'all can't complain.
Sister D, always in the middle of controversy right here on Pump It Up.
I remember sitting at home that night watching Pump It Up, because I used to watch Pump It Up religiously, because that was the 100 Miles and Running EP, I think, that they was doing for the whole show, talking about that. And then, I thought the show was over with, right? I was just about to get up to go get another brew or something out the kitchen, and I look, and she was interviewing Cube, and that's when he said that verse and this stuff. If I have you something marks something, I'll have you 100 miles and running. And I was like, oh shit, no she didn't. No, she didn't do that.
And once they met up at a Def Jam party, Dre decided to demonstrate how much he didn't appreciate what she had done.
He looked over at D, he said, that's some fucked up shit you done, bitch, and stole on a boom. And you know how your drunk can just come down? The drunk just came down, and I'm looking and I'm saying, wait a minute, this nigga's whooping this bitch ass. It was Dre's bodyguard that did the shit. Knocked out 2 of my motherfucking teeth, and my mouth is bleeding, and then Dre had dragged her around the corner into like this bathroom stall and started kicking and stomping and punching her. And he had a big ass bodyguard, and you see how slim I am, so I did like a little fake, scooted under the motherfucker's legs and got on top of Dre and started grabbing him, trying to choke him to get him off of her, man, when nobody even helped us, man.
In the years since it all went down, the incident seems to have left a permanent mark on Dee's psyche, to the point that she can barely even talk about it.
You just grabbed me.
Grabbed you how?
I'm sorry, kid. I mean, it's no secret. They grabbed me by my hair and started slamming me up against the wall. It's a painful and traumatic experience. And then when you add celebrity into the factor, it's a constant reminder. And in my situation, there's actually reference in songs.
In the end, Dre settled a $22.7 million lawsuit over the situation out of court, with the rumor being that the fee Barnes received was something in the 6-figure region. But try as he might to completely erase these moments from the public's brains, they kept resurfacing. So almost 30 years later, he apologized for these incidents after they threatened to derail the press tour around the Straight Outta Compton film. I apologize for the women I've hurt, Dre said in a statement to the New York Times. I deeply regret what I did and know that it has forever impacted all of our lives. lives. 25 years ago, I was a young man drinking too much and in over my head with no real structure in my life. However, none of this is an excuse for what I did. I've been married for 19 years, and every day I'm working to be a better man for my family, seeking guidance along the way. I'm doing everything I can so I can never resemble that man again. His business partners at Apple and Beats One issued their own statement declaring, Dre has apologized for the mistakes he's made in the past, and he said that he's not the only person that he was 25 years ago. We believe the sincerity, and after working with him for a year and a half, we have every reason to believe that he has changed. But one person who didn't buy it was Michelle, believing that it was just an attempt at damage control. I don't really think it's a sincere apology. I didn't ask for a public apology, and I think if he's going to apologize, he should do it individually. To just group us like we are nothing and nobody, I just don't think it's sincere to treat us like we don't have names. He's selling a movie. I think it's just good PR. With his victims unconvinced that he's changed, all Drake could really hope for was that no more situations like this came up, because it was becoming clear that his behavior hadn't improved as much as he wanted everyone to believe. But if there was ever a situation where Dre really got held accountable for how poorly he treated women, it was financially during his divorce with Nicole Young. After being together for nearly 24 years and having 2 kids together, their marriage reached a point where it couldn't be salvaged. And from there, Nicole told some crazy stories. In depositions, she claimed that Dre held a gun to my head twice in 2000 and in 2001, that he punched me in the head and face in 1999 and 2000, and that he kicked down a door while he hid from his rage in 2016, among other instances of abuse. From there, she claimed that Andre had verbally and emotionally decimated my personhood to the extent that I currently suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. During our marriage, I considered calling the police several times, but as I fell deeper into the abusive relationship, my fear of Andre outweighed any confidence I had that the police could help me. While a prenup agreement from 1996 caused roadblocks for both parties, Nicole wound up walking away with $100 million, in turn not only doing damage to his public image, but his massive net worth as well. As part of the settlement, Young was required to move out of their Malibu beach house by the end of the month, but kept a Rolls Royce, Range Rover, Escalade limousine, and Spider motorcycle, as well as all of her jewelry. And considering that they must have had enough on him to lead to this kind of settlement, perhaps he wasn't the right man to introduce Not Like Us at the pop-out, even in the view of defense attorneys like Olaimi O'Learn.
It's so sad with the situation with Dr. Dre because it's not even just like it's a well-kept secret or an open secret or something. It's a fact, a substantiated fact that Dr. Dre is an abuser. And let me say what I say. I'm not somebody who throws out abuser. Again, I am a defense attorney. More often than not, you're gonna see me coming over to the side of redemption and restorative and not carceral feminism and not canceling and all these different things, right? Like I have even a more sympathetic thought process, maybe to the legal standing of like a Jonathan Majors case or something like that. If you even just talk of one of Dr. Dre allegations, they're all gruesome. Dr. Dre is somebody we know beat the dog shit out of Michelle, beat the dog shit out of D Barnes at a party in front of people while the crowd was held off at gunpoint so he could continue to do it. And then other artists, the people that he's in community with, his entourage said, oh, she deserved it should have happened. And people like Eminem put out into the discourse that she was slapped in a song in order to deminimize it forever. Then he has allegations. He has tons of children. Dr. Dre has tons of children, many of whom allege like neglect, abuse, XYZ. He also has a wife currently divorcing him who's alleged abuse. So this is not somebody who's done one thing and we're just talking about something from 91. This isn't somebody who's like did a thing and apologized or tries to redeem it. No, this is somebody who has showed us a continuous pattern of being an abuser, and the community around him has said repeatedly they don't give a right?
Now a single man, Dre has moved on and dedicated himself to music once more, contributing to projects like a soundtrack for GTA's The Heist DLC, and overseeing the production of Snoop Dogg's Missionary album. And while this is likely a great comfort to his fans, it won't heal the wounds of the many artists and albums that have slipped through the cracks after signing to Dre. Because while they thought it was a golden ticket, they eventually discovered that striking a deal with Aftermath meant that they'd be left to wither on the shelf as his interest in them waned. Launched in 1996 after he left Death Row, Aftermath became Dre's passion project that has brought us no shortage of great music. From Eminem and Kendrick Lamar to Anderson .Paak, The Game, and 50 Cent, Drake's Interscope Back to label has ignited the music world on several occasions with truly era-defining music. But the number of artists who succeeded under Dre's guidance seriously pales in comparison to those who squandered years of waiting for the doctor to say that it was their appointment with stardom. In fact, of the 29 artists that have been listed as official signees of Aftermath since its inception in 1996, only 9, including Dre himself, have at least one album to show for it. The rest of them were forced to contend with features on Dre's projects, writing credits, or simply reverting to the mixtape model long after they thought those days of underground hustle was wrapped up. Possessing a 31.03% success rate when it comes to translating signatures to projects that have received his stamp of approval, Dre's track record as a label boss often gets celebrated due to the landmark successes that have been achieved during his time at the helm. But for every tale of Eminem being plucked from obscurity to dominate the landscape, there are many disgruntled Aftermath alumni who were never afforded Dre's full focus. Among one of the many would-be stars who witnessed their momentum halt, Joel Ortiz reflected on realizing Aftermath was not the label for him during an interview with Hip Hop DX. Dre, check it out. I don't think me waiting for Detox and then another M album and then me is what I'm looking for at the moment. If my window's open, I want to jump through it. If it ain't gonna be around now, I want to tap out. Stories such as these are sadly common, with the once promising Bishop Lamont recalling how he had to put aside his personal admiration for Dre and realized that he could never flourish under the Aftermath system.
Dre is my big bro, and that's my family regardless. I'm a support Aftermath, and whatever he need over there's there. But after almost 5 years of sitting there and working with every producer in the world, you know, it's kind of unfair to the fans and my family and myself to keep telling people something when the release dates change. After a while, you know, it kind of becomes like my album is Detox. It's like, when is it coming? You know what I mean? And I can't afford that kind of situation. You know what I mean? I signed in 2006, and the nigga's 31 now.
Before she was the first lady of the Rough Riders, New York MC Eve once found herself out of the picture after Dre opted to plow all of his energy into the newly signed Eminem.
I would literally show up to studio sessions that I wasn't supposed to be at, where I knew Dre was gonna be, and be like, so when am I recording? When are you gonna put me on a song? What's going on? And I think he got sick of that, and then I got dropped 8 months later. It wasn't too long after Eminem was signed, I got dropped from Aftermath, and I was devastated.
And while that gamble obviously paid off, it still suggests that Dre's head can be churned at a moment's notice, once he essentially gets bored of playing with a new artist. On other occasions, Dre's innate stubbornness and insistence that he knew best has meant that even legends like Rakim found themselves unable to flourish under the great producer's guidance.
Listening to, you know, certain songs that I did, or listening to stories, I guess he wanted me to do that, a gangster rap album. Guess. And you know, that's his formula, you know what I mean? But you know, I thought at that point I should be doing something different. You know, we would sit in the studio and Dre, you know, he'd put on a beat, he'd sit next to me and be like, yo, I want you to talk that shit on this one. Like, Dre, that's what you say on every track you play, bro. Like, when you gonna let me rhyme on something? Well, I gotta, you know, beef with everybody. You know, after him trying to push me to talk crap on every song and me, you know, being rebellious, I guess he realized, like, yo, this, you know, ain't gonna work. But, you know, actually, I'm the one that told Dre, like, yo, I appreciate the opportunity and everything, but I'm going back to New York, bro.
Despite his belief that he always knows best, Dre has gotten his own way with his projects too, where he just couldn't lock them down. Whether it was Helter Skelter with Ice Cube, his concept record The Planets, or the mythological Detox project, he and his collaborators tried to get it over the line, but always fumbled time and time again.
We were doing songs with a kid named Slim the Mobster, and those early records were really good, you know, and we were working with a myriad of other young writers, and the work was good. I don't think Dre knew exactly what direction he wanted to go in, or really knew what it was he wanted to do, so none of it ever came out. A lot of it got leaked, and then that really pissed the dude off.
Yeah.
And so he went back underground after that, you know.
And it never came out.
Yeah, and I stayed around here until 2009, you know, and so I was gone again.
Oh, and in case you were wondering, the artist Slim the Mobster that the doc mentioned was kicked to the curb once Kendrick entered the scene. But to Dre, this isn't as frustrating as it would be to others, as over the years, he's been open about the fact that he doesn't always see music dropping as a priority.
I'm a recording artist and I just love recording. Most of the shit that I do is not for the public. I'm gonna go in the fucking studio and work tonight. It's just for us and how we'd like to feel. It's a habit. It's a hobby. It's a passion. You know what I'm saying? This is what the fuck I do.
Just work it.
Yeah, I just
creative
love,
work.
I just love making
making music. Some of it can come out and, you know, be a commercial success or whatever the fuck. But I would say, man, 75, 80% of this shit is just for us. You know, just for us to vibe to and have fun with.
And just create and just feel that energy.
Because most people have this fucking thing in their head, like whatever I do, I want people to hear it or it's supposed to come out. I'm the opposite.
You think that's a limitation, thinking that way? Or is it you think that fucks up the vibe, thinking this has to come out? You think you should just create to create? Like,
I think it all comes from an egotistical place, to be honest with you.
Now, it's all well and good when you're only holding your fate in your hands. But when it comes to an artist who's put their faith in you to guide their career by signing to your label, then this philosophy is not only reckless, but arguably selfish. In this sense, his legendary perfectionism is a curse, rather than a benefit to what he does. Ultimately, Dr. Dre is a successful man who could have left an even bigger imprint on the culture if it weren't for the asterisks that have been placed next to his name. Between his reputation as a less than stellar ally through his abuse allegations and the careers that he's let wither on the vine under his watch, the Compton legend is so prone to mistakes that he lost $200 million and robbed himself of becoming a billionaire by talking prematurely about his deal to sell beats to Apple.
Billionaire Boys Club for real, homie. Huh? Fix your face. Fix your face.
You know that.
Oh, shit. The Forbes list just changed. It came out like 2 weeks ago. They need to update the Forbes list. Shit just changed.
In a big way.
Oh, my.
Understand that. Oh, my. The first billionaire in hip-hop. Right here from the motherfucking West Coast.
A complicated individual with no shortage of skeletons in his closet, Dre has done his best to keep the negative PR at bay. But if you know where to look, it's clear that there's a side of this innovative artist that you'd much rather not encounter. By now, you know who Drewski is. After making his name with skits online, he's continued to strike gold again and again with viral moments.
So, explain this. This is one question I got for you. When you say nigga, a lot of people are assuming that's gotta be racist. There's no way.
What is up with the fouling, and why would you say you're fouling so much out here?
You are so fine, bro.
Other than that, I'd like to ask about the game, man.
Throughout his entire career, Drewski has continued to land on his feet, getting more and more cosigns, alongside working with major brands and even sports teams. Along the way, it's become lucrative, particularly as he's leveraged relationships with some major artists to help make bank.
Drewski's making a lot of money from promo and albums, this and third. He got a couple TV shows or like digital shows, just like how, you know, I did a bunch of stuff with Complex. He's also been brought on tour by a lot of people. So like, he's on J. Cole's tour, I believe. So he'll come out and do like probably a 10 to 15 minute like opener type shit. He's getting a lot from, you know, just his social media presence.
And it's really no surprise because, let's be serious, he's often hilarious. But sometimes, Drewski has teetered into dangerous territory where some people feel they've gone too far. And in other situations, some of his connections within hip-hop and the loyalty he's shown to them has also led to some alarming speculation about him. And these days, let's just say that things are going left in rapid fashion. Recently, Drewski appeared on Kai Cenat's stream during his Mafia-thon with Kevin Hart. This wasn't really news because he and Kai are friends, but it's how Drewski conducted himself once he was there that caused all of the controversy. Because over the course of the entire sleepover stream, it seemed like he was on a mission to sabotage his entire reputation. For starters, he insulted a kid to the point that he covered his ears in horror of what he was hearing.
Not you. I'm talking about the little fat. Yo, come on, bro. Come on. Fat. Yo, y'all been saying that to me all fucking night. Everybody call me the fat all night, but I can't call the other little fat. The little fat. Man, y'all niggas been wrong. Fuck out of here. No, come on. Y'all wanna have fat phobia when it come to the kid, but not me? He's like the fucking nigga. What about me? He's fine. You're a grown ass nigga. Man, y'all call me fat all night. Drewski, oh shit. Oh, y'all. Fuck. This nigga. You good? Yo, man, you messing my fucking sweater, man.
Straight away, people could not believe it, including both the kid and his mom, because since it went down, they went on the offensive.
Drewski insulted me multiple times, and if you check on the YouTube video, they cut it out. You can only see me hugging LeBron James Jr. and Kai Cenat.
So, with that, they wouldn't let me get my son. Security would block me. The person in charge of telling me what's supposed to go on was saying that my son was crying because he didn't get no food, which was a lie. A older person, Drewski, was physically and mentally assaulting my son, calling my son a fat ass nigga, whatever he was saying. But he's a big ass silverback gorilla. He had no business talking to a 9-year-old like this. My son was there to do a job for acting, and that was not a part of it.
While the use of the N-word really won't help her attempts to get sympathy, the mom is still coming at his neck and is clearly shook up about her kid being publicly humiliated to a global audience prior to even becoming a teenager.
They fucking lied to us, you guys. And then they're supposed to have a teacher on set or a monitor, and they didn't have no monitor for me to watch my son. And they sit here and watch my son cry and be bullied by this fat motherfucker. For no reason, my son was just sitting there, you guys. You guys need to cancel Drewski, because that's not okay what he did. You're not cool anymore, guys, and then you suck.
As soon as it happened, some people who had been waiting for his fall off were ecstatic. Drewski finally getting exposed as an overly mean bully. Can't wait for it to go downhill on that guy. Pretty much straight away, there have been attempts at damage control. For starters, Drewski did what comedians basically never do and tried to make amends for his comment.
Chicken locked up. I got a couple drinks for it, but that ain't no excuse, bro. For real. Like, I'm a bigger dude, you're a bigger dude. We on the same page, and like, I really do apologize. I understand. We got the same mindset. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, getting excited in here, you know what I mean? But I rock with you. What's your name? Joseph. You're a good dude, Joe.
From there, Kai Cenat tried to shoot him some bail and said the mother was purposefully blowing it out of proportion.
I'm gonna be honest. As soon as it was said, we caught it and said, he's a kid, chill. But not only that, I could kind of see that this is forced a little bit. Like, Ma Duke's behind the camera, like saying, yay, say this, this, and this, and this. We cut it out solely for the fact that we didn't want to put it on YouTube to make a joke out of it. Anyway, so that's how serious it is. So we made sure to cut it out so that no other viewers on YouTube can even see the joke. You feel me? Not only that, but Drewski in detail, I think he apologized twice. Drewski is a comedian, so whatever the fucking first thing he says is gonna come to his head. But he knew he was wrong. He actually apologized for this one.
But for a lot of those online, they felt like they had seen his true colors. Can't glue the plate back and make it how it was before. This is legit Drewski becoming every bully he's ever had. However, others felt like he didn't do anything wrong. It was just a reflection of how sensitive society is that it's even an issue. Not gonna lie, Drewski was OD, but parents like this are the reason the kids are like this. Either accept being fat and feed into the jokes, or lose the weight. It's honestly not that complicated. But this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Drewski's tour of destruction. Because this wasn't the only incident that cast him in a bad light. And it wasn't just kids that got his wrath, but some of Kai Cenat's friends as well. Most notably, the 18-year-old Ray from Taiwan, who was subject to some really questionable behavior. And the whole situation led to Kai being frustrated, if not outright angry by what went down.
How you doing, sir? My name is Ray.
No, don't do your language you do.
I haven't even started.
Damn, bro, I haven't started. You said to be real. He wants to do what he's supposed to do. He out Thailand. Nigga, that gotta be fucking racist. That gotta be racist. Oh, fuck me. Nigga, y'all said be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be how? Nah, nah, that was too much. That's straight. My bad. That's straight wall. Hey. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Erase that. I might get canceled.
I can't. No, it's live.
Over time, Ray got progressively sick of his behavior, eventually storming off.
He just told.
I'm so confused what's going on right now.
See?
He thinks that.
How you gonna switch up on me? You just told me that shit was racist as fuck.
Hey, why you switch on me? I didn't do nothing, bro. I just walked past.
This nigga don't even
I just walked past.
I
just walked past the hole, and you told me about. Oh, they kicked me out. I couldn't. You snitching. This like. I'm like, bro.
That's what it is.
And once again, the whole scenario divided everyone. This is pretty bad in itself, but it only got worse when people realized that he actually had a history of this behavior. Once again, putting Kai in an awkward situation in a stream from 6 months back.
No, what?
Ray, you don't gotta do this. Ray, you don't have to do this.
Ray, man.
Ray. When black people cut music on, you
don't do that no more, Ray.
It's a puppet thing.
Come on, hey,
Ray,
Kai, by the way,
Kai, don't do that.
I hope you don't feel good about yourself.
Kai, don't do that.
This is what they do to circus. This is a circus. Really? Right up there with it.
You're putting that there?
Yeah. That's
really?
This is sad.
Oh, you're putting that card?
Yeah, this is sad.
Listen, Ray, don't.
Why you keep saying shit? Oh, do the thing,
he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand.
Drewski saying Ray is from the circus like he wasn't juggling balls at Diddy's party last year. Kai is for real a real one. Kevin and Drewski was mad racist. Imagine if this was one black guy and 3 Taiwanese guys. He even took shots at Ray when he's not around to defend himself.
Was that rice?
No.
Why would the fuck?
That was a straight. That was uncalled for. I shouldn't have said that.
Why the fuck would that be rice?
I shouldn't have said that was rice. See, I assumed it was rice. I didn't. Kevin, you don't think I'm rice? It looked like fucking rice. I thought it was white rice. That's what they fucking eat. I thought it was rice.
Yeah, we're gonna just
no, not that. No.
While that incident wasn't a good look, it wasn't the only part of the rampage that Drewski went on during Kai's stream. Along the way, he even managed to antagonize NPC Miles Morales too.
300,000 people watching this right now.
300,000 people in here.
Wow. It's a lot of people to be watching while we try to go to sleep.
You're starting to get on my nerves.
What the fuck?
What? Hey, Kev. Hey, yo, Kev. Kev, did I do anything? Just be real with me, man. I said nothing.
The second time came when Drewski began throwing a drummer's equipment around, leading Miles to completely crash out on him.
I'm just sick of this shit, bro. I just can't fucking do no more, man.
Hey, yo, real shit. Who the fuck you think you is? Who the fuck you think you is? You don't get your ass out of here,
Miles.
And still, he wasn't done either, because later on, he even made a mockery of Bryce James's attempt at a motivational speech.
I always have my favorite saying is, without a doubt, whatever you're doing. Why you laughing?
Nah, Drewski, you are rude.
Why you laughing?
Nah, Drewski, you are fucking rude,
Why you laughing?
dude. Drewski. Oh.
Why you laughing?
Now, this whole experience clearly wasn't Drewski's finest hour, and for some people, it appears to be the final straw. But for others, it's not so much these kinds of instances that are the problem, but it's his ties to some of the most controversial figures in hip-hop today, particularly Diddy, who he cites as an influence.
I was influenced by P. Diddy, and when he had the Making the Band show, that's why I can't look this way when I'm talking. Especially when I said P. Diddy.
Over the years, Diddy and Drewski have sparked up a professional relationship, and maybe even a personal friendship. At one point, they even filmed a skit together where Drewski invaded one of Diddy's houses, where some of those alleged atrocities happened.
Owned by a black man. Don't mind if I do. I wouldn't. Shot.
These days, he's tried his best to keep the details scant about their relationship.
Yeah, that's why I said I was inspired by P. Diddy. That's what I was talking about. Why the fuck do y'all keep looking at me like that? When I say that, I'm saying that I'm inspired by the way he was talking to his people at his label. Well, I ain't say that. Yeah, no, I ain't say that. I like the way that he was talking to the people at his label on the show, so that's the same way we do our business, yeah.
And as the heat got turned up on Puff, Drewski got increasingly shifty about the whole thing. During his $1 million worth of game interview, he even straight up shut it down, leaving Gilly looking a little disappointed in how promptly he tried to end the conversation.
You ever been to one of Diddy parties?
Yeah, I've been in attendance. Hey, what the fuck you smirking for?
How you saying that?
I said I've been in attendance. I have been in attendance.
We never been. We just asking.
Yeah. I have fun. Yeah, I mean, it was a party. I wasn't at one of them parties.
We ain't say that about the party.
I've been in attendance. Yeah, I went. Yeah. I don't know which party. The party I went to, it was girls. turn up, you know what I'm saying? The regular, you know what I mean?
Parties, wait, what party?
Oh, that's crazy.
And how he handled it wasn't overlooked by the public. He really got defensive really fast. He's completely right. They asked him a simple question. Now, it's just a recurring theme that every time the topic is brought up, he acts really evasive. He even left the room when it was brought up during Kai's stream.
Let's get out of here.
No, I have not, but guess how far was my neighbor?
Who?
Diddy.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Let's just come on, man. Let's just let's just go.
Hey, let's go on the restaurant.
Let's just go. Jesus Christ. Let's just go, man. I mean, what the Keep the tour going.
Kev!
No.
Kev, come back!
No.
Hey, Kev!
No.
Kev!
Alongside hanging out with other infamous hosts of white parties like Michael Rubin, Drewski has also damaged his credibility during his relationship with Ruby Rose. It all began when they were first seen getting pretty cozy on camera. From there, they went public with the relationship. From the outset, people couldn't really believe it. But within 2 weeks, it all came crashing down. And initially, Drewski claimed it was because he couldn't keep up with her lifestyle.
What happened?
You know, it comes with a lot, and I wasn't really, I don't know if I was prepared yet, but I learned a lot from it. So I think coming out of that, you know, you better have them pockets ready.
Okay, so what is it?
I ain't saying that's what happened.
No, I'm saying, so I want to understand. So was it more financial when you deal with a woman of that caliber?
Yeah, but I think it's all, you just got to be ready, because you don't know when you're going to have to be pulling that wallet out.
But before long, we'd realize how true that really was, because she aired him out and said the whole thing was a financial transaction. I only give it up if I'm in love. I don't give a fuck how much money a man got. I'm rich as fuck. He is funny and nice though. Soon, he was getting trolled like never before. I mean, he wasn't lying. Too expensive to keep her, doing the PR. Suddenly, Drewski was faced with one of the biggest L's of his entire time in the spotlight. Because when you're operating in a realm between hip hop and comedy, paying a girl for a falsified relationship is never gonna do you any favors once it's revealed. And speaking of hip hop, another issue that Drewski is facing at the moment is his allegiance to a rapper who knows quite a lot about taking L's these days, in Drake. Way back in 2020, Drewski struck up a bond with Drizzy based on nothing other than the rapper being a fan of his content. And soon, he'd give him a major boost to his career when an appearance in one of his music videos helped catapult him to fame.
What are you doing?
What?
Wait, yo, you straight?
Yeah, I'm good. No.
You sure?
You got a tissue?
No, why would?
Okay.
Yo, it's good.
And Drewski seemed nothing but thankful of Drake giving him this opportunity.
I'd probably say Drake gave me a great opportunity with the Laugh Now, Cry Later video. Yeah, a big opportunity with that. I was actually gonna tat Laugh Now, Cry Later. Yeah, I probably put it on my leg or something. Yeah, okay. But definitely was probably gonna tat that just because it was one of those moments that did change my life.
Soon, he even had Drake modeling his merch on Instagram.
Drewski had sent me a Colorado University hoodie, and fuck. But the quality on his merch is super fucking cool, so like whatever.
And at one stage, he even had Drake pop onto his stream to be a potential could-have-been signee.
Put you off some shit like this easy.
Yeah. Let me see a TV. Let me see what, I want to know what my lifestyle is going to be like.
Nah, it's gonna be sitting on this little shit right here, man.
What the fuck?
I'll get you some light. So you can see. Yeah. Don't fuck with us. Damn.
And with all the issues Drizzy is having with UMG right now, he probably wishes he took whatever deal Drewski was offering. With all the things that Drake has done for him, it's no surprise that he feels a degree of loyalty for him. But it's not so much of him showing solidarity that's the issue. Instead, it's the petty way he's going about it that's the problem. At times, he's tried to stifle Not Like Us from being played in the club. Then, he did the same when K-Dot was played during Kai Cenat's stream. As Drake has continued to be recognized as the loser in the beef by most, Drewski has kept right on his side to the point he's now caping for the entire nation of Canada.
Hey, did you see Rick Ross got into it with Canadians over there? They jumped in for playing Not Like
Sleep on them Canadians, I told y'all. I've been said that.
Right.
Ultimately, the end result of everything that's going down is Drewski has gone from universally beloved to more of a divisive figure. But there's an argument to be made that this is a necessity for his brand, particularly when you consider what he's best known for these days. Although it's a big part of his content, Coulda Been Records has become the leading light of his empire to the point that he even made it a TV show. And while it's entertaining to see, it goes away to explain how he wound up just going off at people like he did at Kai Cenat's stream. Because when you think about it, the concept of him bringing these hopefuls on to sign to his imaginary record label is basically to clown people. Sometimes it's good-natured.
You sound white Jamaican.
Yeah.
You white Jamaican.
Anything you want to say, brother.
I ain't never met a white Jamaican. That's crazy.
We're outside.
Jamaican me crazy. Bullet! So you out here in UK, but you from Jamaica? Like it's
No, so I'm from the UK, but we represent for Jamaica.
But then you have other times like his run-in with the Backpack Kid on another Kai Cenat video.
What's your name, big bro?
Backpack Kid.
Huh? Backpack Kid, yeah. I remember him. Crazy. He wanted TikTok.
Man,
yeah.
I do what I do.
He wanted TikTok.
Who does he play?
No, he don't play shit. He do the floss.
Yeah, you know
the little dance. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to see
he created
you
that.
and your kids do it on Snapchat. It's on Fortnite.
So what happened to the money that they did give you from beginning of when you started the dance?
What do you mean? Huh?
Like I'm saying, like you remember you had your years were like 2016, 2017. What happened after that? What'd you do with the money?
I mean, I invested some of it. I spent a lot
Smart
of it.
dude. What'd you do with the money? Let's talk about it. He said,
huh?
What'd you do? What happened to the money?
Wait, no, let him. Can we let him play?
My bad.
What are you doing? So is this just you sing or do you play?
I just play.
What'd you do with the money from back in the day?
Wait, can we just let him play the piano?
My bad. He don't want to talk about it.
Well, let's hear it. All right, this is good.
Cut that shit the fuck off. Get him the fuck out of here. This stupid ass shit. Fucking bullshit.
How y'all like it?
I don't want to hear no fucking piano. This is 2024.
I didn't forget what you said last time. You said I could die.
I don't give a fuck,
I didn't do nothing to you, bro. I didn't do nothing to you, bro. You said I could die.
Get him the fuck out of here. Get him out first and then get the other.
Get him out! Wait, and then get this fucking keyboard, this cheap ass keyboard out here.
Get the cheap ass.
No, it's alright, bro. It's alright.
Obviously, there are some people who eat this up, but for others, each incident like this is a step towards ruining his repair job in someone's eyes. I can't stand Drewski from the moment he pulled out the cord from that boy's keyboard. Yeah, joking is one thing and bullying is another. For Drewski, making this kind of content isn't a calculated risk, because obviously viral moments are key to his success, but he certainly takes things pretty far, and this might be a problem in another way. Let's think about the time he claimed he slept with Young Ma.
Name a stuff you made. Don't stuff for stuff, nigga. Young and made. Fuck that. Can't name another stuff better than that. I fucked it. Took it. Fuck that. Took it. No.
What you mean you took it? Took it?
On other occasions, it's even led to potential beefs, leading him to being checked by NBA YoungBoy for saying his baby mama resembled the comedian. Then, there was the time famous Dex warned him to not make jokes about him anymore.
I don't know you, so why you want to post all that? Oh, shoot. I know you're a comedian. Brother, you're a black man. I salute you. But don't put my name in your mouth and it's negative. Say, Dex doing good. You know what I'm saying? Just say real shit, bro.
To Drewski, it seems like if he's not causing controversy, he's doing something wrong. Ultimately, he is a comedian, and for the most part, he gives as good as he gets. Like his appearance on Flagrant, for example, where he got a drastic taste of his own medicine.
Oh. Number 2 in America in karate.
What, black guy?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Not sure. I don't know you guys' names.
Come on, black guy.
So yes, Alex was.
Alex. Oh, okay, yeah.
Come on.
Too much.
Jeez, chill. Give the fat guy a break.
Plus, he's obviously accepted the routine trolling of his friend Jack Harlow. Never needed no PR, or stylist, or trainer, or nutritionist. If Drewski wanted to keep things as they are, he'd probably be able to coast through a successful career. But the problem is that with incidents like what we saw during the weekend, he might be damaging his potential upside in the mainstream world that he's beginning to infiltrate and has always said that he aimed for. When you think back to his humble beginnings, it's really crazy how he's came up. Some kids would be like, yo, I want to be best dressed or I want to be the best athlete. I used to literally say in my mind in elementary school, I want to be the funniest this year. I want to be the funniest kid in class. I would just fuck off all class and act like an ass. Upset isn't even the right word. He said of his parents' reactions to his antics. My mom used to love it, like literally crying. Even though he was intent on becoming a comedy star, Drewski tried to study sports broadcasting just to keep his parents happy, but promptly dropped out of college.
I did 1 year at GGC, which is like a close school to where I'm from. Then I went to Georgia Southern, and I did like half a semester.
Jesus.
And just stopped going to classes, just all in general.
From there, the sketches began, and after a little bit of convincing from his friends, he decided to make a career out of it.
The first time I was kind of forced to do it because my homeboy just recorded me, and I was just like talking shit at a gas station, and he just started recording me. He was just like, yo, because at that point they had been telling me to do it, so he just, one of my homeboys, my close homeboys, he just forced me, and he just recorded me. He was like, yo, just post it, and I posted it, and like everybody like locally that knew me, they're like, thank God, like, yo, please keep doing this, this is so funny.
Right.
And I was just like, yo, if I could do this is gonna be easy, like, yo.
Yeah, because it's
I'm
like,
gonna kill this.
After his humble beginnings, Drewski has came a long way, and a lot of people want to see him win. I hope Drewski becomes a household name. He's on his way for sure. Man's got raw comedic talent. He's one of those guys that can make absolutely anything sound funny. And in a lot of ways, he is. After all, he's become such a valuable commodity that he once got scammed into making a commercial for a guy that wound up making millions off his likeness. And all Drewski got out of it was some free pictures.
And I sent him the video. I see this video everywhere. Because my at the time I had just done Drake music video. Yeah. So my face was like, everybody's like, oh, this is the new comedy dude. This is the new. I'm seeing on Snapchat. I'm going to YouTube. I'm like, damn. He said, thank you, man. You changed my life. I'm turning this into $1 million business. And I think he sent me like, out of love, I think he sent me like 10K,
But while this might be enough for some people, Drewski has always wanted more. And with his antics and ties to people like Diddy, he might be in risk of putting a ceiling on his acceptability to Hollywood. In interviews, Drewski has always been pretty open that sketches on IG aren't his end goal. I really want to leave my own mark on the world when I leave it, he told GQ. I want my Talladega Nights or Bad Boys. But bearing his appearance in Praise This alongside Chloe Bailey and a few episodes on Grownish, his acting experience outside of music videos and his own content is pretty slim. This is a problem which comes down to his brand management. Because while he's living his best life in commercials for Google and Nike, it seems like no Hollywood studio or even streaming service like Netflix is willing to take a chance on him. In fact, in an interview with New York Times, he revealed that he was yet to land a major theatrical role even after 2 years of auditions. But he's still pushing forward. That's part of the hustle, he said. The no's are what gets you the yeses. This is exactly what the argument comes down to. Is Drewski not getting these roles because he's not good enough? Or is it because these major companies are nervous about pumping money into him just for a joke on stream to get him canceled? Before David ever picked up a mic, the young David Anthony Burke wanted to be a gamer and streamer. Previously among the best Fortnite players in the world, David started making music purely to soundtrack his gameplay videos. But over time, this morphed into something bigger. And after he started fine-tuning his sound, he began dropping compositions like Romantic Homicide, the very track which propelled him to success.
I love talking about Romantic Homicide in particular because it's the only song that I've ever made where everything was done in one take. Look, like the entire lead vocal, there's no cuts. The background vocals, no cuts. And the entire thing is only one lead and then just some oohs and ahs in the background. Literally every single word is improvised. As soon as I heard the first 15 seconds, I knew what I had to say. And the first word I said was, I'm scared. And everything else followed after. It was the most flow state-like thing of all time.
So then you stay in the closet to add those backing vocals?
Right.
Then one other layer, then you're out.
Literally, it's that quick. And then the rest of the process is just me hitting the 3 dots and then speeding it up.
Right.
Pitching it up. And this is the version that's on streaming. Scared. And then I just dropped it like that.
Yeah.
Literally.
You've done it before school.
Exactly, it's time for school. Right after that, I had to do like 6 assignments. It's crazy.
A dense and dark song, it was such a shift from what he had done before that this mom had her reservations about the themes he was exploring.
Whenever my mom hates something, I know it's cool. Like when I used to get up and get dressed for school in the morning, I put on this cool fit. She would like, take that off, put on a suit or something like that, you know? I knew it was cool if she hated it. I played it for her in the car. And she was like, David, this song is too violent. You talking about killing people in your music? No, not my son. And I was like, wait, I might be onto something. So I dropped it right after that. And it went crazy. TikTok, viral, 1 million views overnight. I was like, oh yeah, we cooking, boy. We cooking, boy. So right at that moment, I was like, My mom has done it again.
And in the wake of everything that's happened since, it's hard to not word if perhaps she foretold what was to come. Because now, this track, which he notably dropped on the birthday of a young girl at the center of this story, only adds to the surreality of this entire situation that we find ourselves in. We're in a documentary now, guys. Listening to him now feels like standing in the middle of a crime scene. This whole situation is just wild. The core of this warped tale begins with a glance inside the back of an impounded Tesla. After workers on the lot dedicated a foul stench, detectives responded and located possible human remains, a spokesperson for the LAPD said. It is currently a death investigation. When they looked inside, the body was badly decomposed and dismembered, with the police revealing that she appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found, while also mentioning she was wearing a tube top and black leggings, size small. Despite the state that the remains were in, the girl was identified by her mother, and when asked about the girl, she promptly said that she had a boyfriend named David. Soon, it was revealed that the vehicle was registered to none other than the gamer-turned-singer who recently contributed to the soundtrack for Netflix's Arcane. But to say things were about to go from bad to worse doesn't even cut it. When it was initially announced that the impounded car was registered to the artist, it was claimed that David, who was on tour at the time, was fully cooperating with the cops. Initially, the news was shocking, but by no means career-ending. After all, it was possible there was some rational explanation, but that was before the details of the victim were made public. As once the name Celeste Rivas Hernandez entered the publication domain, everything changed. A 14-year-old girl who went permanently missing around May of 2024, Celeste had been absent from her family home in Lake Elsinore for over a year. At the time, missing posters pleaded for information on her location, and while neither the cops or her family seemed to know about her whereabouts, the public now believes that David did all along. But at the time, he kept it pushing on the career front, conducting interviews 18 days after Celeste had officially been declared missing, as though he didn't have a care in the world.
300,000, 400,000, some got millions, like.
Okay, so that just happened.
Like that.
Okay, and then what happened?
So then fast forward like a month or two, I'm making a lot of money. My mom's like, okay, maybe the game's not rotting your brain. I start getting copyright strikes left and right from UMG, and I'm like, what in the world is UMG? I don't know what UMG is.
Yeah.
So I'm not making any money now. I got the red money sign on all my videos, and I'm like crying to my mom about it. I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm not making any money anymore, blah, blah, blah. And she was like on a phone or something. She was like, just make your own music, go.
Back then, he had more people buying into his persona and journey to fame, leading many commentators to salute him in ways that they'd likely regret now. This guy's origin story isn't something extremely special, but I think that's the beauty of it as well. The average teenager making his dream come true. David is goated. But looking back, both fans and those who only became aware of him after the discovery of Celeste are freaking out at the fact that he appeared to drop hints about both his unsavory relationship with this literal child and her death itself. Among the things they cite include a scene from a music video which showed a body being placed into a trunk. Elsewhere, there was exemplary self-snitching in the form of a leaked track, where he seemed to hint about withholding info about a murder of a woman.
Nobody ever caught me, but I've spoken too soon. In the back of a police car, I forgot whatever I knew. I ain't telling nothing.
There was another from 2023 too, where he mentioned her by name. Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her clothes on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. In the next verse, he adds, oh Celeste, afraid you will only love me when undressed, but you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress. Bear in mind, this being recorded in 2023 means that Celeste was at most 12 or 13 when it was released. And considering the tone of those lyrics, that's disgusting to say the very least. As mentioned previously, David was in the midst of his Withered World Tour and still performed even as the news broke, giving out lububus to fans in a way that can't help but to seem leering and creepy now that his appetites have been revealed. Not to mention that during his shows, he had a casket as well as opportunities for fans to write letters to the deceased. Now, this might have just been theatrics, but based on everything that's occurring now, it doesn't exactly look good, does it? After initially looking to persevere as if nothing was happening, David's hand was eventually forced, and he paused his tour following the revelation of the ID, which transpired after the matching tattoo was on their fingers, which read, "Shh," was pointed out by her mother. Now, this is not exactly an uncommon tattoo, but given the secret nature of their relationship, it takes a far darker tone, particularly when you consider that Celeste wasn't even old enough to get a tattoo legally. As the connections between David and Celeste began to become apparent, the LAPD seized a computer and various bags of evidence from a house. And if you're wondering why his computer would be vital, it's because, by the looks of it, David had been incriminating himself online for a long time before anything came to light. In a series of leaked messages from David's own dedicated Discord, it appears that the tragic girl at the center of it all was a member. Celeste in here, hi David, Bart. And even more shockingly, it seems like their relationship was flaunted across this online space. He has a GF, her name is Celeste. Considering people were privy to it, this whole thing makes it feel like it could have been averted. But not only were they aware of her once mysterious fate, but actively referenced it. Drop the one with the missing girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez, said a message from a user that was sent in August of 2024. At times, it seems like David actually did strive to protect his reputation, with video of he and Celeste showing him consciously covering his tracks. At one stage, she even called him out as a PDF during a live stream.
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my. Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
On account of Celeste no longer being here, we can't get exact details on the nature of their relationship. But at the moment, everything points to it being a deeply inappropriate one, which led her to running away from home. And text messages alleged to have been sent from her sister confirm this. I don't want to talk to anyone. Are you still going to talk to David or go back with him? I don't want you to get into any more trouble. I only bled with David. But the message rabbit hole doesn't end there, with a message from David in his Discord, leading to speculation that she might have even been pregnant. Me and deleted user got a kid on the way. Although he had coveted his position in the limelight, the chat logs of David provide every indication that behind the scenes, he was a messed up dude. Specifically in messages such as these that read, "Gore better than corn. I used to be addicted to watching gore vids." And now, every aspect of his life, from his bloody shirt merch to the lyrics of his songs, is being re-evaluated. And the harder that people look into the situation, the circumstances surrounding how Celeste was found just aren't quite adding up.
That David Tesla was repoed on September 8th. He started his tour August 5th, 9th. They said the car was sitting for over 30 days before it got repoed. He reported it missing in between that, but it's been sitting before he started his tour. Called to report a Tesla missing. Now chat, anybody in chat, go to Google and say, can I call Tesla? If my Tesla is missing, can I call Tesla to track it? Watch what it shows you. You could have called Tesla, a Tesla of all cars you reported missing, when you can call Tesla and get it tracked. That don't make sense. They said the car was sitting for over 30 days. So from when the car was impounded on the 8th, we can add 31 days plus add some change. That's days, if not a week or more, before he started his tour, bro. Nigga was dating a 13-year-old, bro. Probably got her pregnant. That's why he did that stupid shit. That shit f***ed up, man. Another one bites the dust.
Left with a gnawing sense of guilt, the news of Celeste's passing has people who had seen them together in the past struggling with the sense that this could have been prevented.
As many of you may know, a body was recently found dismembered in a Tesla belonging to David, a popular singer. Today, the body was identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Right when the picture went public of Celeste, I instantly recognized her from 2024 in April when her and David came together to a jewelry shop I used to work at. I remember this moment so vividly because when they came in, there was something off about Celeste. She was very high, and she was with David, who I recognized because he's a popular singer, but she was very obviously younger than him, and she was very out of it. I was helping her out with jewelry, and she was all over the place. So that situation really stuck in my brain, and I really remembered her face. So when her picture was released to the public, I instantly recognized her as the girl that was with David. And the fact that she was found in his trunk, dismembered, is just unbelievably sad and horrific. And my heart just goes out to the family and her friends and everybody who's affected by her death. But there is a lot of questions around this and a lot of unanswered questions. So please find answers.
But as it turns out, David went to great lengths to keep this all under wraps, even using his financial reserves to keep this sick bond secret. This guy is a PDF from what I've heard. My sister is now in the 9th grade, and she told me that he was dating an 8th grader, and she would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in the 9th grade now, And it turns out Celeste's friends knew, and who pay them to keep their mouths shut. This idea of David putting money into keeping the situation from the public eye hasn't just been expressed by one person either. Over on Instagram, another user said that he told me he gave someone in El Sonora money because he was with a minor, and showed me a picture of it too. I didn't even know if I believed it at the time, but now I'm tweaking. This was the pic bro showed me. I'm not capping. Amid the screenshots and chat logs mounting up, David is now trying to remove ties from Celeste from the public eye, even removing his name from a shared playlist that he had collaborated with her on. Meanwhile, others shed light on just how long the two had been linked together, with one insider from his gaming days revealing David had known Celeste since she was 10. We were all in a Fortnite team called Chronic, which is where I met him. He met her in like 2021 through Fortnite, I'm pretty sure, and then he got her Discord. Everyone in the team knew about her, and he would joke about it and brush it off every time it got mentioned. That's all I personally know. But my friend Pistol knows more because they talked way more. She would literally say he fucked her, but then followed it up saying it was a joke. So I don't know if he was being real or not. He was just also a weirdo, to be honest. While in another flagrant exercise in self-snitching, cryptic tweets from David appeared to allude to actively stopping someone from going back to their family. When I was writing this, I got a notie from you. As you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and sister again, take me where I belong, but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We gotta push through it, bro. It's a damning look, and people aren't hesitating to let him know either. Yeah, it's over, bro. Pack it all up. You are sick. And now, there are already signs suggesting that's the case before he's even charged. To begin, David just canceled the European and UK dates of his tour in support of the new album Withered. Around the same time, the deluxe version of the project was shelved, and Hollister removed their images of him on their site, while Kali Uchis has promptly pulled a collab, declaring, "Not my friend. I did a song with him, which is currently in the process of being taken down given today's disturbing news." Now, other people who had encountered him are now retroactively blowing the whistle.
I've known this stuff since 2023. I've known this stuff since 2023. At first, I brushed it off. I thought it was just a misunderstanding. Now that everything's coming to light, it all makes sense. I'm gonna tell you for a fact, David would ignore most of his male audience, his male fans. Even me, I had a good relationship with him. He ignored the shit out of me. He ignored the shit out of me to the point that he unfollowed me. But you know, when it came to like a 15-year-old, 14-year-old girl, underage girl, no, he would give him his number. I have evidence from 2023. I have pictures, I have screenshots, I have everything from 2023. It's all gonna come to light soon.
Even a teacher of Celeste divulged that he heard rumors about what was really going down.
Hold up. That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was
this? We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, that they were like blackmailing him, all of this stuff. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
And while this is all well and good, it won't be much to comfort the family of Celeste, with her brother Matthew currently dropping receipts and claiming they intended to get married. This corresponds with shots from her IG stories where she appeared to be flexing an engagement ring. With that, most people have everything they need to declare him a monster. And that's before even mentioning a possible second victim named Gus, who is allegedly dead. As the news of David's alleged heinous acts circulate, the industry is churning on him. And voices like academics are even suggesting that other big names might have similar skeletons in the closet.
Yo, I know 3 rappers that y'all love. Like, y'all would kill
Well, but like y'all would be in turmoil if I told y'all we're about to talk about this David guy. He was f***ing a girl who was like 14 or 15. I know like 3 Chicago rappers y'all might consider legends that was doing the same. It wasn't for me to talk about because nobody went to the police. I don't know if these people were true. I don't know the story, if they lied about their age. It's not for me.
This was echoed by his friend 6ix9ine, a man who has sex offender charges of his own, no less, claimed that one infamous meme-turned-rapper was passed around the industry.
At this point, you guys start going back and forth. You accused him of having with Bad Baby, who was a minor at the time.
Everybody, listen, apart Trippie Redd, there you go telling the truth again, there you go Stitch. All these rappers Bad Baby while she was underage. Come on, next thing. She knows it, they know it, but you know what? No, we like them. They can kids. They can kids. Just don't say, bro, chill. Bro, why you always gotta open your mouth, bro?
But the real question is, if these things are such open secrets, why are people tolerating it? Because if they didn't, maybe tragedies like this could be avoided, and dangerous people wouldn't be given the chance to exploit vulnerable children. Because no matter what anyone who's defending him says, that's what Celeste was, a child. But what's even more bizarre is that in the wake of the news that he was apparently in a relationship with a literal child, his track has become the biggest gainer in the world on Spotify. Ultimately, the cops haven't made any arrests or officially listed any suspects at the time, but it seems like the internet has already condemned him long before he sees a courtroom. Quick question, why is the dude who 100% underage victim not under arrest? At this moment, David's whole world is crumbling around him, and if everything that's being said is true, it'd be difficult to feel a shred of empathy for him. Whatever happens, it appears that his time in the limelight, or being known for anything other than his alleged actions, is over. And that must sting for someone who had plans to make a fortune and then evade the public eye entirely.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying? Why are you saying that like you're not like up there, gang?
Well, I'm not there yet, but
Okay,
hopefully
okay.
it's like even crazier next year. And then I'm going crazy year after year for the next 3 years. And then on the 4th year, I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro.
Come on,
You'll
bro.
have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every.
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely
of the secret.
not.
Granted, he might still be doing so, but finding himself in a jail cell rather than the life of luxury that he'd envisioned for himself. Back in the day, Charlemagne could be counted upon for a few things. Being totally out of pocket.
Yeah, I talk about it on the album.
Who the hell raped your sisters?
Oh man, I don't want to get into that.
To the point that he leaves rappers in tatters.
Kind of called me homophobic without even watching an interview, and I was like, I didn't even say that, and then for him to just out his mouth be like, yo, who raped your sister, like that fucked me up, and I actually held on to that for like 6 years, man. And I was like, this isn't healthy, and I'm talking to my therapist about it, and I put it on a record. I talk my shit on a record, right? You know what I mean?
And calling out what he felt was detrimental to hip-hop culture, including moments like when Lil Mama hopped on stage next to Jay-Z and Alicia Keys.
But you're an actual musician. You actually have, I guess, some type of talent. Like you did have a little buzz going at one
Definitely
point.
have talent. And
But what have you done lately, though? This is a what have you done for me now type of industry.
What have you done lately? Okay.
I'm the host
All right.
of one of the top rated morning shows in the country. So, you know, I'm doing my thing.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You know that.
You know? And if your face was the Bible, it would be the Old Testament.
You play too much, I swear.
Yeah, you got to show
I
and prove
get it.
by actions and deeds, not words and lip service. You haven't
Yeah.
put out no music in a long time. People know you for playing yourself, walking up on stage with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. That's what they know
Charlemagne,
you from.
seriously.
That's
cut
the
this
truth.
out. Cut this out.
During his reign of terror as the #1 media personality in the game, he used to be the one making rappers crash out, leading to him creating endless classic moments and memes in the process.
I want to start this shit off straight, telling all 3 of y'all stop playing with my name.
Let's go on there. Let's go.
Let's do it on camera.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my fucking name.
He done cursed us out. Tell him, get it off your chest, Birdman. So why come here?
I did it already. I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me?
So what's the
shit,
issue?
No sugar. Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you'll feel me. I just come to let y'all know, stop, put some respect on my name.
But in recent years, there has been a shift in Charlemagne. Gone is the king of shock value segments, and in its place is a man who seems to be more of a politician than he ever was before. Not to mention a published author who is a mental health advocate overseeing his own Black Effect podcast network alongside iHeartRadio. And that's not all he's become, because to some people, much of his recent takes have been sketchy, with one situation even leading to claims that he's a hypocrite who's taking sides against the hip-hop culture that he's previously went to war defending. Among all the questionable choices that have damaged his reputation, few stand out as much as letting a friend off the hook for behavior he wouldn't have tolerated from anyone else. In the wake of the confrontation between Kendrick Lamar and Andrew Schultz, there are questions being raised over Charlamagne's selective moral compass. Since the outset of the Kendrick and Drake beef, it's fair to say that Charlamagne has made it known what side he's on. In the wake of Dot's victory, Charlamagne has regularly applauded Kendrick's attempts to change the culture.
I don't believe the record is just about Drake. I think he's talking about just the culture, you know, people in the world, society, the
Media,
industry,
TV.
media. And I'm gonna tell you something, Kendrick, you're gonna drive yourself crazy, okay? The only thing you can do is continue to be the change you wanna see in the world. Cause this ain't stopping no time soon.
That's right.
It's just not. You know me, we're too far gone. Like God himself would have to come back. And even then,
people wouldn't believe it.
They would not believe
it.
Triumph could start, Wu-Tang Triumph could start playing, and a big toe could come from the sky, and Jesus himself could come down, and they would make him have to prove himself.
That's right.
All the while, clowning Drake at every opportunity.
All I'm saying, Aubrey, is stop acting like you haven't been the beneficiary of record label technology, okay? You being a whole hoe simply because you lost. Simply because Kendrick Lamar kicked your ass lyrically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And anybody acting like this is anything more than Drake's feelings being hurt, you a hoe too. A OV hoe to be exact, okay?
In fact, he even predicted that Drizzy would go down the legal route in a moment that reminded people of his heyday and praising him for his foresight.
One, what is the next move for Drake?
Lawsuit.
No.
That motherfucker is gonna sue. Listen, Drake is half white. Drake mama side of the family is like, oh no, Aubrey. No. This man is out here calling you a pedophile.
No,
Listen,
Aubrey.
there's probably people at Nike, there's probably people at Universal, there's people that got real vested interest in Drake. That is a multi-billion dollar entity.
Yeah.
They're like, you gotta protect your name. Fuck all that rap shit. Call your cousin, who's the lawyer.
He's not suing. He can't.
This is worth bragging about. See the God was the only person I heard predict this angle, and with such conviction too. And unfortunately, all that good work has been done on account of his refusal to hold Schultz to account on either his comments about black women that started the beef in the first place, or his claims that he'd have his way with Kendrick. Ever since the scenario initially came to light, Charlamagne has basically been co-signing Schultz's narrative.
I agree that if you're a comedian, but you have the license to make jokes about any and everybody. Since when do we police comedians? And by the way, if you don't like the jokes, you have every right to say it. You can rap about it, you can protest about it, you can be offended, you can tweet about it, you can do all of that shit. If Andrew was a person who only was constantly making jokes about one group of people, it would be different.
100%. Like if we're all sitting here being honest, and anybody even online that knows anything about me is being honest, you don't believe that.
You're equal opportunist.
Exactly. It's like you've seen me make fun of everybody, and not only do I make fun of everybody, I'm going to your house to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like when I made
what do they don't believe about you?
What's that?
What are you saying? Like they don't believe what?
That I'll have sex with Kendrick if he wants
Man,
that.
shut the fuck up.
No, he's gonna get sexed up.
Granted, he did say that his issues with Kendrick could cause some problems, but he ultimately never stepped away from his side.
And I'm gonna tell you why I don't have a problem with none of it. Because Kendrick can say what he wants.
No, you're right. I'm not saying.
And he can't control how Schultz responds.
Exactly.
And Schultz can't control how Kendrick responds if Kendrick responds again. That's just the way the world
He's
works.
not gonna respond again because he didn't mention your name.
Exactly, he knows better. What he should
Stop
say if
saying
he
that.
wasn't talking about me,
Stop
that'd be the
saying
safest
that.
thing
No,
for
you're not
him.
worth. You're not worth the
What if we
mention.
end up in a room
You're not
together?
worth the mention.
And I put
That's what
his,
he's
I
saying.
put his feet in there.
He's saying you're not worth the mention.
What if
That's
I put
what
his
he's
feet in
saying.
there? What if I put his feet in there?
You want him to slap the shit out of you.
How is he gonna do that? Whose shoulders he gonna
Why
stand
not?
on?
They gonna fuck you up.
As the public scrutiny around the situation persisted, Charlamagne kept letting his longtime co-host get his shots off. He even permitted him to compare Kendrick to a female pop star.
The reality is this is how Kendrick really is the Taylor Swift of hip hop, in that no matter what he does, he's still the victim. No matter what, like, you know how Taylor's always the victim? Like, she's the biggest in music, in history, yet she's a victim to the label, she's a victim to Scooter, she's a victim to her boyfriends, yet she's still the biggest in the world. He goes, you said what you said once, and you're crying about it.
Because they thought when you were on here talking about people leaving comments about your kids,
It was you responding to that.
Because they didn't watch the episode.
Well, they also don't know when we tape.
But his blinkered approach to the situation didn't stop there at all. He's even allowed Schultz to try and turn him against Kendrick by accepting a role that he was never cast in as one of the people that should have stopped him.
You understood why people were leaving comments, and you deserved it. Cause
I never said I deserved it.
Well, you said you did what you did to Kendrick.
No.
And then they replied.
No.
What was it?
Stop, man. All of y'all are believing these fake ass timelines.
I don't remember.
So I gotta deal with a propaganda machine.
What was it though? What was it?
This is it. Kendrick drops the song.
Yeah.
Mentions me.
Yep.
Mentions my friends. Says slide on his friends, which I assume are you and you.
No.
So, wait. Which I assume are both of you. Slide on the, the coons and the ones that are grooming, which I assume. You guys also think it's you because you're getting death threats. I'm getting death threats.
I never thought it was me.
Okay, that's fair. You never thought it was you. You have the ability to talk to them, right? They reach out to you to patch shit up real quick.
It's the Doodle and Laugh podcast.
Yes. But
Doodle and Laugh.
What's it called? You told me.
From there, he even backed up his tale that Kendrick's team leaned on him to smooth things over, or at the very least, didn't qualify or question it.
I don't know.
So Kendrick's people reached out to you to clarify. They're like trying to, we didn't want to say it actually came to you, and people are thinking this. They're doing their little due diligence with you, right? But nobody else knows that. They think it's you, and they think it's you. Y'all getting death threats. I'm getting death threats. They posting pictures on my little kid. I haven't said anything. I'm filming my special. So 2 weeks, I don't say a single word. All of Kendrick fans are saying they're gonna kill me, my family, my little daughter. They're commenting on the pictures of my 8-month-old daughter. It's fine, whatever it is. This is internet shit. I don't say shit, right? I go, okay, it's like that. I'm a your man. All of Kendrick's fans go, how could you say that? Oh my God, you can't go there.
And just when it couldn't look any worse for him in terms of cultural credentials, he got in some light glazing for good measure.
My debates are about comedy. Yeah. My debates are about art. If you call me and you tell me shit like Andrew's a racist, he's a bigot, you're not gonna ever get me to buy into that. I know Andrew. Yeah. I've been like, this isn't new. Like that's what people don't fucking realize. Like, this isn't a new podcast.
That's why this shit doesn't bother me. It's like I've been hearing this shit forever. It's like
exactly. So you're not gonna get me with that. Now, where you will get my attention is if you say Andrew's not funny, right? That type is like, wait a minute now, okay? Now I'm like, whoa, what do you mean, right? So now we're having debates about that and having
never been
about
said by anybody. Like literally the clip that I posted with the Meek Mill Diddy joke, the Diddy's house shit from the Forum show in LA.
Fire.
Everybody, all the people that are commenting now were dying laughing and sharing that joke.
The response to this performance from Charlemagne was swift, with any leeway that people have given him in the past quickly disappearing. Charlemagne is out here like Neo from the Matrix, dodging everything. If anything, Kendrick is probably looking at Charlemagne weird. How you always for the culture, but want to play it safe because Andrew is your friend. And for many people who've watched his journey throughout the years, this was the last straw for him that made them hope for exclusion. I really wish black people would stop tuning in to anything Charlemagne does or let him into black spaces. Andrew Schultz is a racist and trashed black women, and Charlemagne couldn't wait to get on his show to support him rather than checking him. Charlemagne treating Schultz's behavior this way has riled a lot of people up, not least of all because he's gone in on other people for a lot less. Don't forget how he previously came down on Post Malone for being a culture vulture, even though hip-hop as a whole accepted him in a way that Andrew has never been. As Post rose to fame, Charlemagne claimed that he copied Future, and when the rapper made a statement about hip-hop not being what he listens to in order to feel emotions, the Breakfast Club host gave him both barrels.
Then he don't respect the culture. Like if he had more respect for the culture and actually appreciated hip-hop and talked like he appreciated hip-hop, I would probably respect him more. But when he says shit like, when you want to feel something, don't listen to hip-hop, fuck out of here. We don't listen to your hip-hop when we want to feel something.
In the aftermath, this hit Post hard to the extent that he plunged him into a cycle of alcoholism.
He was called a culture vulture, a one-hit wonder. How did that feel to you?
It sucked.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
How did you deal with it?
Drink a lot.
Yeah. Did you take it personally? Because I imagine...
Absolutely. It's hard not to.
For this, Charlemagne would have never even dreamt of apologizing. So the fact that he'll let Andrew slide with what he said seems inherently inconsistent. But when you put their two offenses side by side, Schultz is infinitely worse. The only thing is that he isn't making a bag with him. Now, Charlemagne's behavior can't be taken at face value anymore, and for around a year now, the inconsistencies in his character have been leading him to get roasted on the Brilliant Idiots subreddit as former supporters debated when he lost them. And in those words from fans, you can see all the ways that they've begun to lose patience with him and the inconsistencies that sparked it. Passive-aggressive bullying bullshit after saying he's a changed man, when he started showing oblivious bias and caping for his celebrity friends. Back in the day, Charlemagne prided himself on not being industry. Those days are gone. I'm still a fan, he just doesn't have the same influence over my attention anymore. The things about him that used to seem genuine, even if it was him being an asshole, don't feel that way anymore. From diluting his words to acting rashly even after he's allegedly reformed, there's plenty for fans to take issues with. But much as was the case with Schultz, the concept of Charlemagne sacrificing his integrity rather than critiquing those he's had dealings with is beginning to become a problem. Because while those criticisms about his issues with Schultz are easily ignored, some of his statements and approaches to other scandals have left an alarming trail that are less likely to fly under the radar these days. Among those he's given a little more patience and understanding to than most people feel they deserve is Diddy. Over the years, the two frequently collaborated across The Breakfast Club, Revolt, and more, and Charlemagne has been weirdly gracious towards him. Even before it all went south for Puff, Charlemagne already gave him some treatment that he likely wouldn't accept from anyone else. For example, he accepts being chewed out by him over a joke in a way that he wouldn't if it came from someone less influential.
I'll never forget, Diddy yelling and screaming at me. This is before I even recognized truly, the power, that the platform was commanding. This is when he dropped the Last Train to Paris album. And I gave him Donkey of the Day for that album, right? I'm like, yo, this shit is shake weight music. You know what I mean? Once again, being an asshole, because people love that album, right? But I'm just fucking with him. And he came to the station hot, like go out the back door, Charlemagne type shit. And I remember when I finally had a conversation with Diddy about it, asked Sean Prez about it. Sean Prez put us on the phone. And Diddy was like, bro, you can't do that on my first week. He said, I'm a big boy. I can take criticism of the music, but not on my first week when I'm trying to get these first week numbers up. You come out and you shit on my project like this, people might not even go check for the project. And that was one of the first times I was like, oh shit, he's right,
If that had happened with anyone else, Charlemagne would have called it out publicly without hesitation. But when it comes to powerful figures in hip hop, he tends to tread more carefully, even if they've already fallen from grace. Because these days, Charlemagne is coming under fire for what some people see as his attempts to avert putting the blame directly on Puff for his actions.
The issue is domestic violence.
Yep,
The issue is exactly what I just said about, men not going to do the proper work on themselves, and they're dealing with a lot of pain and a lot of hurt and unhealed trauma, and they're projecting that pain and that hurt on the other people. The issue is patriarchy, right? Because as long as you have a system where men feel superior to women and they're dealing with that pain and they're dealing with that hurt, they're going to project that. We're going to continue to project that onto our women.
Straight away, this attempt to shift some of the blame away from Diddy on a major platform like The View quickly sparked backlash, drawing criticism from longtime listeners and even people unfamiliar with his usual content. He's full of it. You have to talk about the person as well and how everyone enabled him, the pursuit of money and fame, etc. Charlemagne won't say a negative word about Diddy, not on The View, not on his show. Makes you wonder. Speaking of his show, The Breakfast Club is another outlet where he appears to be going out of his way to let Puff's responsibilities slide.
I just really can't wrap my mind around someone having so much to lose and moving the way he was moving. It just makes me think that man doesn't have not one single solitary friend around him, because if you worth $1 billion, you got kids, you got all these employees, all it takes is one person to say, hell no, get these guns away from him. No, you're not getting no prostitutes. You're getting a girlfriend. Actually, you need a wife. But somebody should have been there to tell Sean Combs to grow up, or maybe he didn't listen because he's too far gone off drugs, alcohol, and booty.
Well,
all types of booty. Women
like
booty, men booty, 72 gender identities. Did he seem like he wanted to try every flavor?
But I would say this, it had nothing to do with the money. It's just, you just don't have a friend.
What about
the booty? Why are you stuck on his booty?
In turn, these comments have further damaged his credibility. What has happened to the voice of Charlemagne has to be studied. Like, dude's takes be so flat and disingenuous now. This is the same dude that wouldn't dare say anything when the first civil suits were coming down. Now he has an opinion. Shaking my head. Now, if it was just Diddy that he was intent on defending, or at least copping pleas for, then maybe it wouldn't look so bad. But it's not. because in recent times, he shot Hove bail too before the facts of what was going down could even come to light.
Well, good for Hove. I'm glad Jay-Z responded just like that, because this has been going on for too long. It is a grift. These accusers go to these lawyers with all these salacious claims. The lawyer will put more sauce on the salacious claims. They reach out to your team and say, if you don't settle with us, we're going to go public with these claims. They'll tell you that they're going to hold a press conference. We're going to do interviews. And a lot of people settle because they don't want the bad press.
Once again, this unreserved protection of a famous and powerful entity in hip-hop had people wondering where his integrity went. Wow, you would think that Charlemagne would recognize that he's been on a losing streak judgment-wise for a hot minute when those checks stopped clearing. Jay-Z had fired him before. He sucked his dick ever since. Harsh as that last sentence sounded, it may go some way to explain why Charlemagne is a little wary of tangling with those who have much more clout and capital than him. Because, as they suggested, he has felt Hove's wrath before back when he was working for a Philly radio station. While still on the come-up, Charlemagne decided to publicly endorse a diss track aimed at Jay from Beanie Sigel.
This is when Beanie Sigel had a beef with Jay-Z. That was like when Twitter first started, and I remember seeing all these tweets about Beanie Sigel dissing Jay. The first tweet I saw was from Fabulous, and Fabulous was like, y'all never thought I'd see the day when Beanie Sigel dissed Jay-Z, and I was like, what? And then K. Slade had played the record, so I heard it, and I was like, oh, shoot. I'm like, yo, I just reached out to a couple people I knew in Philly, like, yo, I gotta get Beanie Sigel on the phone this morning. And he called up, and he just kind of like aired Jay out for like 30, 40 minutes.
So where did this whole situation stem from? Because I'm going to be honest with you,
And
Beans.
the whole situation that stemmed from, like, I got the Young Guns calling my phone because Jay-Z's only paying them $1,200 a show, and they had to split it at the end of the day.
Although it probably didn't seem like a big deal at the time, it was enough to have his opportunity snatched away.
I was supposed to move into my new townhouse in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Me and my wife had already packed up everything. The apartment was clean. I had clothes and stuff in my car. I already had put down the security deposit. And that Beanie Sigel interview played on that Thursday, went viral that Thursday night, played it back Friday morning. Monday come into work. Boogie D, who was the program director at the time, called me in the office and was like, we're moving in another direction.
Maybe whether it's completely down to this because of some other desire to gravitate towards power, it's obvious that he's a lot less likely to come at someone who are perceived as being a superstar at the top of their game. For one thing, just look at his questionable comments about R. Kelly from back in 2010. Furthermore, R. Kelly has the best celebrity sex tape of all time. R. Kelly looks 20-something. The fountains of youth clearly can be found within teenage vagina. Now, you might be saying, louaista, that was back in 2010 when edgy humor was way more common than it is now. And you know, that's all well and good. But unfortunately for Charlemagne, it's part of a pattern of behavior that maybe explains why he's never one to go too hard on people accused of sexual misconduct. Since the beginning of his career, Charlemagne's wild comments have often generated headlines. Whether it was tweets like, if I took penitentiary chances dating you when you was underage, you owe me at least 2 years of sex, or straight up harassing a woman and objectifying them to their face.
Like $6. Can I see what that mouth do though for $6? How much you got in it? $26.
No.
You let me in and we run a train on you right now.
What can you get for $26? You can buy me a drink for $26. Whoa.
Can we slip something in your drink, then take advantage of it?
Depends on how sly you are.
Oh, okay.
At times, it seems to be played for laughs, but on other occasions, it's gotten a lot darker. Because for every incident where he's sniffing chairs,
Actually, I sniffed your chair last time you was
You're
here.
a sick person.
I know. I did.
Fuck you guys.
J-Lo just left.
there are other situations where his words and actions have been so inappropriate that they can't help but cause genuine concern over who this man really is.
I keep telling y'all, I've told y'all this over and over, it's a lot of things that guys did, especially when we were young, that were that we just didn't consider rape. And I'm married to my wife. Me and my wife dated for a whole year. She would not give me no pussy. Me and my wife hung out one Saturday night and she got sloppy drunk and passed out at my mama's house and I got that pussy. No!
Damn, while she was passed out?
Yes, I mean, she was fucking me back and all that, but she was really drunk. So I asked her yesterday, I was like, yo, did I rape you the first time we ever had sex? And she looked and she goes, I mean, in hindsight, yeah. No.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. After these comments about his wife went viral, Charlemagne tried to walk it back by giving himself the most dubious honor his show has to give.
Why am I giving myself donkey today? Because I feel stupid. that I am just now realizing that a lot of us men in America have been raised on culture. So my brothers, if we are being morally honest with ourselves, if you are a certain age like I am, you was born in the late 70s or 80s or hell, older than that, you are absolutely, positively raised on culture. I feel bad and extremely dumb that I didn't realize this earlier in my life. I don't care if it was, I look at some of the things I used to say to women in interviews here on The Breakfast Club, and I'm like, bruh, you was wildin'.
But as much as these incidents have had him playfully labeled as a menace to society, they really tarnish his reputation when you consider his legal battle with Jessica Reed. This case, in which he's accused of interfering with her when she was just 15, dates back to 2000.
What's the wildest shit you ever did, like after, like since you gained fame, with like either groupies or I don't do that shit. Hell, I'm scared of that kind of shit. I done had a charge before. Oh, for real? Hell yeah, I'm scared of that kind of shit. I don't even play them. You got like a charge? How you beat that?
Because I didn't do it. It was a criminal sexual conduct with a minor charge.
That mean you would have.
She got drunk, high, whatever. Something happened in the room with a couple of my dudes. I'm asking them, did they mess with the chick, after the fact, after she pressed charges? And they was like, no. But they was like, yo, she's bugging. I remember the night of, they was like, yo, she's in here bugging out. She's kicking over the TV and she's trying to set shit on fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I had left. So the next morning, I'm hearing she said she got. So I go to the hood to ask what happened. They like, yeah, my cousin who had got the scholarship, yeah, he's in jail now. What you mean he's in jail?
And in this retelling of the event, he was the scapegoat rather than the man behind it.
So I'm like, I take full responsibility for everything. I bought the alcohol. They was like, well, you're not even of age to buy alcohol. And I'm like, well, how'd you get it? Well, I got a crackhead to get it for me. Whatever.
They went out there copping out pleas with.
Yeah, they had to do shit. Yeah. So 2 weeks later, they come and arrest me for criminal conduct. So I had to get blood and hair follicles.
Oh, you going out there to initially explain it?
They ain't had nobody else depending on.
But as is often the case with Charlemagne, this is another scenario where people aren't sure whether he's telling the truth, or at the very least, he's not handling it right. The way he tells the story is telling. Complete and utter disregard for Jessica, almost trying to make it sound comedic. He's lying, you can tell. This has been a lengthy legal battle, which has had its ebbs and flows over the years. In the process, casting a shadow over everyone involved for a long time. For over 2 decades, Plaintiff Reed has tried to live with the horror of what happened to her at the ripe age of 15. Said her lawyer, this court has the power to grant Plaintiff Reed some justice under the current terms of the statutes, leaving any unintended consequences for the legislature to sort out. In the prosecution's version of events, Charlemagne allegedly gave her a drink, and soon after, she felt dizzy and fell. Reed stated it felt as if her legs gave out. She insists that he laughed when she collapsed and told his friends to take her ass upstairs. She says she was assaulted by 2 men. Further, she alleged Charlemagne took her to another room and raped her. But thankfully for Charlemagne, he has been vindicated in a court of law several times now. The documents showed I did everything in my power to fully cooperate with authorities before this case was ultimately dismissed. But I cannot take responsibility for a crime that I did not commit. I am praying for healing for the victim, and I am committed to using my platform that God has blessed me with to do as much good as I possibly can for the rest of my life. He even won a libel suit after he wrote about it in one of his books. But as they say, mud sticks. And with both the allegations and some of his antics, there are plenty of people who can't let it go, including Funk Flex, who will still bring it up at every available opportunity.
There's a scammer looking at a file all morning long, and a pedophile looking at a scammer all day long. You two ain't for the music business. All of that fake mental health, all of that fake, I'm trying to help people get real estate. You're a crook, you're a thief, and you're a scammer, and your man's a pedophile. He puts drugs in drinks for women. But let me tell you why they're not going to fire you. Because if they fire you, that company takes on every lawsuit and they're going to lose. Because they're going to say, you fired him so you knew he was a dirtbag. So they're going to leave you there. So they don't got to pay them lawsuits.
But as much as some things stay the same for Charlemagne, there are other things that have changed in terms of how he's viewed by both hip-hop and in how he presents himself. And while some of them might have been good for his pockets or profile, when you consider them with everything else, they really haven't helped his standing in the culture. To begin with, there's the fact that many believe he claims to be spreading mental health awareness while actively bullying others. Back in 2018, he began to bill himself as an anxiety advocate with his book Shook One. In it, he opened up about his struggles with anxiety and outlined steps to conquer those fears, while offering readers a path to overcome the anxieties holding them back. But despite how he's attempted to recast himself, he's still been doing some pretty heinous stuff. Namely, bullying a man who was once supposed to be his friend in Tyrese Gibson when he was going through a tough time.
All right, Tyrese, you are the prime example of talk much and they think you're a fool, be silent and they become curious. Try being silent, and maybe people will start becoming curious about something other than your mental meltdowns, all right? We're not going to be curious about no movies. We won't be curious about no music because you keep talking too much, reminding us that you are indeed a devil-damn fool. Please give Tyrese Gibson the biggest hee-haw, please.
To say that fans were shocked at how hard he went at him would be an understatement, but no one was more shocked about it than the R&B singer and Fast and Furious star.
Charlemagne was clever because he knew that they've been going at me for 5 years, and I've responded only a few times publicly, and they knew that we was gonna have that conversation. So everybody that's speaking to the same thing that I've spoke to, you're this voice, you've got books, you're this champion, outspoken man that represents all things mental health. I feel like I know y'all enough to have some type of an expectation of you guys to just have a heart and just simply be able to say, man, I couldn't imagine what it would be like to come home to an empty house, no wife, and your child get taken from you while you're out of town. Just have a heart, do your job, talk your shit. I get it. Never lose sight of mental health. I've lost count of the amount of times that he's contributed to the stresses in and around my mental health, from being insensitive or just deciding to talk about a man that he actually knows. The moment that he said, I should box you in your mouth or whatever, it took everything in me to stay seated in that seat.
Once again, this left people disgusted with his conduct, leading many to view his rebrand as a mental health advocate as nothing more than a facade. The way Charlemagne acted with Tyrese confirmed for me that all the mental health talk was just that, only talk. He was just trying to sell a book. While this might put a few people off from buying his book, that really isn't the real problem at hand here. It goes much, much deeper than that. Because when your word is not your bond, and what you portray is different from what you do, it's gonna lead to a downturn in respect. And in recent years, there's been a real snowball effect with that. Because, to put it mildly, he's been getting clowned for years. One man who's refused to take his foot off Charlemagne's neck as of late is Joe Budden. When Charlemagne was once the more prominent media kingpin, Joe has now leaped over him in every way. And with every shot he takes at Joe for his perceived mismanagement of his staff and self-destructive nature, Joe is all too happy to remind him that while Budden is a media conglomerate of his own, Charlemagne is still working for the man. Because even his own podcast network is in his name only.
Charlemagne, let me help you. I know that you have this healthy obsession with me. I know that you think we are competing. You might also think that we're fighting the same fight. You would be sadly mistaken in all three of those. Charlemagne, you're not gonna get it because I own this. My most valuable, my most powerful, my most accomplished asset, I own it. Ownership. You see all these black people running around preaching ownership, ownership, ownership? There's a reason for it. You, my friend, work for iHeart and have for 10 years.
And in Joe's mind, Charlemagne is now actually less relevant than his former protege.
I'm not arguing with nobody that's the B mic on their show. If it's your show and you the B mic, shut the fuck up. I'm not arguing. You have taken yourself out of Pod Wars.
Do you really feel this way?
100% the B mic.
Okay.
When he's sitting next to Schultz on his show. He's the B mic.
Oh, next to okay.
He's the B mic. He down, the show down, stock is down, all that shit is down. You down, you down, you down.
Beyond Joe overtaking him as the most prominent and controversial voice in hip-hop commentary, another issue lies in the overly polished and sanitized image Charlemagne projects these days. Nowadays, he panders, always looking for the next bag and refusing to step on toes.
Why you jumping? Why you jumping to sex though? You don't even know her. You got to get to know her and court her, and see if y'all are compatible. She might not even want to give you nothing.
Bro, what happened to you?
What do you mean? I've always said that.
While this alone could mean that rappers just don't have to be afraid of him anymore, it's coupled with a whole host of L's that he's taken. Because at times, the formerly unpredictable host has been neutered by others like Birdman. But Baby is just one example. Let's not forget Fredo Starr having him shook too.
This your radio station.
Cause you know why?
This your block, nigga.
You know why? Because I know it was an ambush.
You got ran off your own block.
I don't know what them guys had planned. So I had to get out the way.
You got ran off your own block, man. It's all good, though.
It happens. It happens to the best of
them.
them.
Pussy sometimes. Nigga.
Why we got an issue, bro?
Because you brought some shit up that I ain't like, and I don't like that. I ain't no bitch ass nigga.
I ain't say you was, but you
don't
said
play
it.
me like that.
I don't know what you want me to do.
You can't do nothing. Nigga. You can't do nothing. Nigga. That's what I'm saying. Nigga. You can't do nothing, big man. You can't do nothing, nigga. I know it's so fucking good, nigga.
I ain't here for that.
Playing the garbage. Don't play me, nigga. My name is Fredo Starr. Do your Googles. What the fuck you gonna do, nigga?
And in hindsight, he even let Tekashi 6ix9ine get the best of him in a verbal exchange.
Yo, boy, it's not hard to find me.
Don't call me a boy, please.
If someone wanted to find me, they would have been found me. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know these
They
niggas.
your homie.
Stop
Now you don't
saying
know
that.
him.
No,
Now
don't
you
do that. Don't put me on.
Now he
I don't
don't want
even
to
know
get
these
caught up
niggas.
in it. I be trolling. You see how I get under his skin?
Times best-selling book. I've had hit
Okay.
TV shows. I executive produce a lot of TV shows. I got movies
To be
coming
honest,
out.
if it wasn't for this, I would have never heard about you.
When you look back, the writing on the wall has been there for a while when it comes to the audience reaching a breaking point with Charlemagne. Through this combination of factors, he was already skating on thin ice with a lot of people. Because if he's not the fearless individual he once was and has now filtered himself for one reason or another, then he was no longer as valuable. But with his handling of recent events, it's obvious that a lot of people feel that Charlemagne has sacrificed too much of what made him so vital to the discourse. And now, he might have trouble getting that essential quality which made him so important back then. Not to mention, undo all the damage left from those who feel he's staying in line and defending some of hip-hop's biggest villains just to keep the pressure off himself or stay on the right side of the power brokers in the culture. Throughout his time in the public eye, Charleston has made a living off of shocking the public with his remarks. However, he's always maintained that there's a little exaggeration at play, and it's really just his true personality ramped up.
I reflect. What most people see me, man, is a reflection of our communities, right? The reflection of what we see on social media. A bunch of bullshit, some entertainment, some foolishness. So I'm all that in one. So why should I apologize when I'm reflecting our communities and then I'm speaking against the things that hurt our communities, and then in real life, I'm working to repair the harm of our communities, man. So no, I ain't apologizing for a fucking thing.
But not everyone sees him as just this harmless entity on social media who's using outrageousness to spread the word about his community activism. In fact, he majorly splits his opinion with some people, refusing to forget about some of the most horrifying things he's ever done. If you genuinely like Charleston White and tune into his lives every time he's up, there's something wrong with you. This man has said every degenerate evil thing imaginable, and he still gets support. Crazy. While others think he's simply a source of entertainment. Natural-born comedian. So what exactly are those people who are so concerned about his influence on the public, referring to him when they say that he shouldn't have a platform? Well, for starters, let's go back to the incident that started his entire journey from ex-con to motivational speaker. Because now, it turns out that he handled it in a way that's turning off even some of his biggest supporters.
September 16th, I ran away from home and I went on a crime spree. September 18th, that crime spree led to a guy by the name of Michael Levy losing his life. So man, I just wanted to steal some jackets so I can have me a starter jacket to wear at Tingles. All I had to do was go home, man, and ask my mama to buy me one. There was a white guy by the name of Michael Levy in the parking lot working on his car. And so he saw what was happening, saw us running out, and tried to thwart us, tried to stop us from stealing those jackets. He ran, jumped on top of the car, started hitting the windshield. Glass was shattering in my friend's face. I handed him the gun and instructed him to shoot Mr. Levy. He shot Mr. Levy. We drove away laughing.
This story here is one you've likely heard before. It's the one which took him from small-time crook to Rolling 60s member before he renounced gang life and dedicated himself to keeping the youth from making the same mistakes as him. But while he insisted that everyone involved cooperated with the cops to a certain extent, Charleston, who spent 12 years in prison, insisted that he wasn't a snitch.
Gotta be paperwork on a snitch, homie. It ain't no rat without no paperwork. It ain't no such thing as an anonymous snitch. February of 2020, homie, last year, I got with Dallas Global and a few other media outlets. So I put out a little old reward, man, $25,000 reward, man. But yeah, nah, homie, I ain't no informant. I ain't no. That's internet talk, right?
But through new footage emerging, it seems there's more to the story than meets the eye. These days, Charleston has maintained that they never steered away from the fact that he's on the side of the informants.
Is that snitching?
If it is, I hope it is. I want to snitch. I want to snitch. I want to tell. Whatever they call telling, snitching, I want to do it. And I want to make it cool to do it. It's no honor amongst thieves. So why do I have to be honorable amongst thieves? Why? We all criminals and crooks. Why do I have to be honorable amongst y'all, man? No, I don't want to. Everybody play by them rules, lose.
However, it turns out that with newly resurfaced footage, he was talking from first-hand experience. Because as it turns out, he snitched on every co-defendant, and even wound up on the 10 o'clock news as a 14-year-old.
16-year-old Charleston White took the stand and testified against his friend, Antoine Doolittle, who sat just a few feet from him and listened intently.
He pulled off, and the hammer back on the gun.
And then what happened?
He fired it.
Doolittle is accused of gunning down 34-year-old Michael Levy of Irving. Levy attempted to stop Doolittle, White, and two other teenagers accused of shoplifting 3 sports jackets and a baseball cap from an Arlington mall in September of 1991.
In the footage, he even recalled what they said to one another after it all went down to acquire a lighter sentence.
I said, look, you shot him.
And what did he do?
Started laughing.
Levy had been married only 4 days when he was shot.
But I always had my dreams of my Prince Charming. I found him. And it's hard to believe, but I did. And I believe in fairy tales because he made my dreams come true. And they took that away.
White will be testifying against all 3 of his buddies in exchange for a maximum sentence of 12 years. A juvenile judge reduced the charge from capital murder to murder against Doolittle, so the teenager faces from 5 years to life in prison if he's found guilty.
Where everyone seemed intent to let him tell on gangbangers in real time today, the fact that he snitched on everyone in a crime he also committed is the final straw for some people. But others are still on the belief that he did what was right, even if it meant throwing his friends under the bus. Wow, they really tried to suppress this, cause I always knew he ratted, but I never had the proof. He didn't rat, he told the truth. He did the right thing. Bro, this is the definition of snitching. He did a crime with someone and that crime escalated to murder. It doesn't matter if he knew they were going to kill someone that day. When you agree to participate in criminal activity, you take whatever may happen in the act. You can't dictate what your co-defendants are going to do or not do. You are the mercy of the decisions of the people you commit crimes with. Despite everything that's gone down and how it's changed some people's opinions of him, Charleston maintained that he still doesn't care, and now that he's got money, the whole thing is irrelevant.
Like you said, we saw the snitch video, so everybody saw it. It's been on the news before. Just because you saw it, you still broke. It don't change nothing. You still broke. I'm still rich. I'm still getting booked. It don't change nothing. Yeah, it don't change nothing. We seen the snitch video. So, everybody's seen it before you seen it. It used to be on the news. I keep telling y'all, I made the news before. All what y'all doing, people I already seen. So what you seen it? You think they gonna stop booking me? You think they gonna stop interviewing me? You think people gonna stop? No, you still gonna be poor, and I'm still gonna be rich and famous.
In all likelihood, Charleston is probably right in this case. Because unless people like Sean Cotton, who've interviewed him time and time again, decide that they won't be giving him a platform anymore, or until the views drop off, it simply won't matter. And when you really consider everything else that he's gotten away with, it's likely that the story of him snitching long ago won't make a great deal of difference. Because when you look back, this is far from the only thing he's done, which hints to the true darkness that resides within him. When Charleston discusses his issues with gangs, rappers, and everything in between, it's always through the lens that he wants to do what's best for his community.
A lot of people on the internet like to say you're racist, like you don't like black people.
Nigga, black people don't like black people. Who all the rappers talking about killing? How they gonna say I'm racist when I don't never say let's kill us? The rap nigga, every song he make is about killing a black person. Who more racist than a rapper? Who more racist than a rapper?
However, what his defenders generally miss out is that he seems to have deep disdain for every other community. In fact, to be frank, Charleston is a racist. Across the course of his countless rants online, Charleston has unveiled a whole host of prejudices which have proven that he can't exactly be the role model that some like to depict him as. Among the races that have come under the most fire from Charleston is the Asian community, who he has subjected to straight up hate speech.
Dang, I don't eat Chinese food. Only time I ever wanted some Chinese food was at a bathhouse from Chinese sex aid. I wouldn't dare. Yeah. Chinese people ain't so good. Yeah, I eat Chinese people. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about China, man. I eat Chinese people. I think Chinese stores should be robbed. I think Chinese women should be brutally by big, well-hung black men that hate Chinese women. Fuck China Mac. I think Chinese babies should be nigga and killed used as alligator bait.
A move that really ruffled feathers among the Asian community. It was a scenario which China Mac was ready to throw hands over.
Saw this video this clown Charleston White just made, right? And before I go any further, let me say this. Let me make this very clear. Charleston White don't speak for all black people. He don't. This ain't a black and Asian thing. This is a Charleston White thing. So we gonna keep it on Charleston White. Charleston White, you a bitch, right? You got a lot of foul stuff to say about my people, and we gonna hold you accountable for that. Facts. April 30th, you gonna be in New York City, right? You got a show at the Gramercy Theater, right? With academics, right? Academics, you stand by this, bro? Like, you co-signing this? You co-signing this racism, this rhetoric, this bullshit? Is you co-signing that? Because inquiring minds want to know, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Gramercy Theater, right? April 30th, right? Say less.
Ever since then, he's been locked in an ongoing battle with the Asian community over their use of the N-word, and there's no signs of it slowing down anytime soon. But they're far from the only group to get his wrath. Recently, he's been actively advocating for war crimes in the case of Russia versus Ukraine.
I just want to say to everybody, Ukraine. Yeah, we don't give a damn about Vladimir Putin going over there, bombing them people. Them people all year long. You ain't said nothing about Ukraine. Fuck Ukraine. Yeah, nigga, we don't give a damn about Russia or Ukraine, not no nigga.
As well as expressing his love of various historic dictators along the way.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Vladimir Putin. I think he the baddest world leader in the world. And shit, I like him and Kim Jong-un. Yeah, and Muammar Gaddafi, but they killed Gaddafi. But yeah, Ukraine. Blow it up. Yeah, we don't give a damn about that shit. Yeah, them people. And who die over there tonight. We don't give a damn about none of that shit.
However, it's nothing compared to what he had to say about Indian people.
Love from India. Get your ass out of here. You one of them red dot sand, red dot forehead. Yeah. You got y'all. Get out of here, red dot head. Don't like you people neither. I don't like Indians. We don't know what to be. I don't like Indians. Y'all stink and y'all food stink too. Nigga, my grandma played. My grandma no man now. Y'all are some of the most distrustful motherfuckers in the world too. You want an Indian with them red dots on your head. I don't like none of that shit.
While he's also shown some real ignorance around black people of the Islamic faith.
The black Muslims over here is broken in spirit. They ain't no motherfucking suicide bomber kind of. They ain't gonna kill nobody in the name of the religion. Yeah, they'll beat you up. Yeah, they'll jump on you. But these Muslims over here ain't gonna take no airplane and run it into no motherfucking building, these black Muslims. When they embrace Islam, you don't see no real transformation in their actions. These remain the same. Yeah, they give up eating pork, but they keep sucking. They keep eating ass. They'll stick their tongue in any hole's mouth.
And in turn, it has led to one of many accusations that he is a hypocrite who constantly contradicts himself. One minute, this guy is defending Palestinian Muslims. Next minute, he says some ignorant shit like this. I can't take this guy seriously. He don't know the difference between Nation of Islam and Islam. However, he's clearly intent on offending every trace of people possible, because he's unveiled some anti-Semitic tendencies too, after a stream with Aiden Ross went wrong.
The Jews, we the real motherfucking Jews. The nappy hat that was in chain. Fuck them Jews, the Holocaust was fake. Yeah, the Holocaust was some made up shit. Yeah, they made up some shit. That shit like Valentine's Day and Christmas. Made up.
Fuck you talking about? When Jesus was born, it wasn't even no December. The Holocaust is fake, y'all. Aiden and his family, them is some lying motherfuckers, and I rock with Hitler. I'm a Hitler-loving mother. They gon' treat me like this, fly me out here. I love Hitler. Hi, motherfucking Hitler. The motherfucking Jews ain't suffer what the niggas suffer. You ain't never seen a Jew hanging from a motherfucking tree like they used to.
This left Aiden shook to his core.
Don't even entertain that shit.
Bro, what the bro? No, that's insane, X.
With all of that hate in his heart, it's clear that Charleston isn't afraid to take on anyone, nor is he worried about who he offends in the process either. But shockingly, it's not just humans of all creeds and colors that are subjected to his crazed behavior, because among the most disgusting of his behavior is the way he's treated animals. Over the course of his IG lives, Charleston has hinted at his distaste for household pets, and hinted that he was happy to abuse even his wife's dog.
Listen, what say it again, baby? When our dog see me, what he do?
Turn around.
Look, listen, this how much I mistreat the dogs and cats. When the dog see me, them over go the other way. If he be at this door right now and he see I'm home, he won't even come in the house. So, I mistreat the out of house.
If he in the house, he want to go outside.
And if I come home and the dog in the house, he want to go outside. That's a clear sign that I do mistreat animals, and I do it like. So yeah, you animals, I to all kind of shit. I put firecrackers in cat ass for 4th of July.
But considering he said beforehand that his character is a gimmick to a certain degree, people who supported him would have acted like this whole thing was just part of his persona, until it became clear that he really does mistreat animals at a moment's notice. At one point, footage emerged of him trying to get a dog high.
He gonna be wobbling in the bit. Say that I'm getting the dog full of goddamn dope. They hide the animal. It's on video. They ain't never said we couldn't get the dogs high. You talking about they ain't feeling no pain. Come here, Leo. Watch this here, y'all. Watch this. Come here, Leo. You want some more? He don't want no more. No.
But this was nothing compared to when he was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and cruelty to animals stemming from an incident where he wound up deploying his infamous mace on a cat.
Don't give a fuck about mace and no fucking cat. Mama can't tell me what to do with my stray cats. If I want to keep them, I can. If I want to cook them, can't nobody tell me what I can't do with my stray cats on my land. Jim cat. Yeah, I try to keep one every day. He can't do nothing about it. You know, do nothing about me, Mason cat. He in pain. Come save him. Help him. He needs some help. Here, kitty. That needs some help. Help him.
From that point on, he lost more and more supporters, as while they could abide by a lot of his hateful antics, targeting defenseless creatures was too far. Damn it, I thought he was so funny and cool for being such a shit stirrer and using the law to back him up. But animal cruelty? I'm out. I will let a lot slide, but don't f with another species. I like them much more than the people you shit on. Released on bond following this incident, Charleston seemed sure that he'd beat the case.
A record? Do you have a criminal record?
No, but I'm out on 2 felony bonds. Now I'm out of, I don't have no felony conviction, but I'm out on bond.
Then you're good then, you're good.
I ain't been convicted yet.
Okay, good. Well, what are your pending convictions, if you don't mind me asking? I'm not trying to be a fat, I'm just curious.
Yeah, for they said I maced a cat, and then I pulled a gun out on a gangbanger killer.
Yeah.
They just dropped one of the charges the other day, though.
I know you didn't do any of that stuff, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it was a skit on YouTube, man, and the owner of the cat came out and said it was a skit. So, we go to court. We have a hearing on the 29th to see how the charges drop.
Fire. Yeah, bro, dude, I know you're like the least violent person I know, bro. Like, even when you and I were reenacting like that stuff in Vegas, it was all an act and skits anyway.
But in the view of OG Percy, the whole thing was simply proof that the system is trying to jam him up, or worse.
People have called in on Charleston and reported him to be suicidal. That's crazy. When they start mixing you up like that, somebody trying to get down on you. Somebody trying to get down on you. He's been reported on 3 different things. Yeah, he ain't had no business going in there cooking that lady goldfish. That's cruelty to animals, man. That was that lady pet, man. You don't go in there and cook that lady goldfish like that and batter that fish up like that, man, and throw that fish in that skillet. I guess he was hungry. He got him a cruelty to animals.
Now, Charleston being wrongly incarcerated would certainly be ironic, particularly because he seems unwilling to accept that anyone who winds up in jail isn't totally responsible for what they've done. And unfortunately, this extends to his views on victims of police brutality. While many people are deeply critical of the cops, part of Charleston's entire brand is actively shooting them bail whenever possible.
Why don't you say anything about police brutality?
When last time police done killed him?
That shit happens a lot. It may not be George Floyd media status, but that shit happens a lot.
Okay, so I often look at those statistics. The police shoot more mentally ill white men than anybody. The white boy mama who done called the police on him, cause he had to have, so if you look at the statistics, the police on the average shoot more white people than they do black people.
But it doesn't extend to just believing the institution of the police. Over the years, he has blamed the likes of George Floyd and Mike Brown for being killed at the hands of the authorities.
When did stop wanting to go to jail? And George Floyd just got in the car, homie, he'll still be alive. I saw a video yesterday in the court that they played. The brother was saying it was a black man saying, say, brother, this. And George said, man, no, man, just get in the car, homie. And if you land on me like that, homie, I got a will to live. I ain't finna lay there peacefully and let you just peacefully get me. I'm gonna flop, I'm gonna kick, I'm gonna spit. I want to live, homie. I saw a man that didn't have the will to live when I saw George Floyd die.
It's the same story with Trayvon Martin as well, with Charleston basically praising his killer, George Zimmerman, as some sort of hero.
Trayvon Martin was an angry black kid that had to be sent to his father because he lacked discipline, grew up in a home with his single mother. Any well-behaved kid with manners that had respect of adults, once George Zimmerman approached him, whether he's right or wrong, as a child, this is an adult. You get off the phone with that fat-ass girlfriend you call your dad and say, hey dad, it's an adult around here to just stop me. He says he's calling the police. Rather than doing that, he had an attitude because as young black males in this country, we have an authority problem because we walking around angry, displaced from our father's issues, but we resent our mothers. He underestimated this kid and he was looking for trouble, but by law, he was right. And he was judged by his peers, so we can't say nothing once you're judged by your peers.
And this has been consistent throughout his run. Flash forward to today, he is now denying that Carmelo Anthony deserves any help from the black community after allegedly killing Austin McCaff in self-defense.
No wonder Dr. Kingdom could get some things that we can't. Cause Dr. Kingdom said, hey man, don't hit him back. Hey man, don't hit him back. And those people got way more. Now this group say, let's show kids. You hear about kids every day in the hood school getting bullied, but y'all have this much outrage for bullying. They have a no bullying month, but y'all don't have this much but now all of a sudden let's kill the bully. Most of y'all are bullies.
And in this instance, he is deemed to be a hypocrite for preaching self-defense one minute and condemning it the next, as if he didn't launch a pig poker to the head of an unarmed assailant or mace his boxing opponent.
Keep trying to fight. It's the difference between fighting and boxing. Yeah, they gotta keep trying to tell you, I'm a motherfucking boxer. I don't do no motherfucking bar fights. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you goddamn nigga. Yeah, I ain't with no motherfucking bar fight. I'm a motherfucking amateur professional boxer with the motherfucking USA Boxing Association. Don't put your motherfucking hands outside of me, outside no fucking boxing ring. Cause you talking about, I'm a sanctioned fighter. You trying to fight unsanctioned. I'm a professional amateur motherfucking fighter now. Keep his motherfucking hand. Didn't know I got your motherfucking Mace boxing glove. I got your motherfucking Mace boxing glove too. Keep your motherfucking hand. Wasn't no referee there.
And at this point, he doesn't even like being pressed verbally, as in one recent podcast, he just fled after he didn't like how the questioning was being carried out.
Nigga, what's wrong with you? Like, what you be on? Like, what's your angle? Like the way, like, what you...
I'm an angry nigga.
I figured.
I wake up just like the rest of you shoot up the neighborhood. I wake up angry just like everybody else. Go to the club that don't pay attention to no bitch. That tap his pocket and say, there go them hoe ass. I ain't no different than that.
How you angry nigga and always popping your shit like you a happy?
And you won't let me answer. You asked me a question.
But you on some police shit. I asked you something, you go with the police question.
Your first question. Your first question was.
What's the first question? Let me see how old ass got
man,
your
I'm
memory.
done. Get them back their money. They won't let me answer the question. Get them back their money, man.
Hey man, get your old ass back. Hey, get your sensitive ass back over here.
Man, get back their money. Let's go. Ask me 50 questions at one time.
Well, man, I love the ass. Nigga, we don't give a fuck about those small ass.
but the last person who'd be liable to see it that way is Charleston White. At this point, it's clear that the Texas native is stubborn in his beliefs and has no interest in changing his mind, which is exactly why he has no problem blurting out wild homophobic remarks without hesitation.
I can target sexuality just like I target gangsters. Nothing, y'all aren't exempt just because y'all gay. We can pick on gay people. We can we pick on disabled people. We can pick on gay people. We can pick on y'all too.
You got any gay friends?
No.
You listen to any gay artists?
No.
So what about after the day?
What
you think about that?
Well, she with me. So if she ain't no good and her music ain't no good, I'm gonna pick on her just like I do the other rappers.
Oh no, you ain't gonna pick on this one.
Well, if it's good, if you make them hits, then we go. I like good music. Luther Vandross gay, and I listen to him.
Okay.
I do got something against gay community. I think I do have against the gay community. I think the gay community is trying to push gayism off on everybody, even though we don't. Y'all are trying to make us accept it. So yeah, I got a problem with the gay community. I do.
Why you gonna blame the gay community?
What make you feel like we?
What you mean? Because so why? So if it's a choice, then why don't they let us tease them? Just like that. So everybody else get teased in this world, right?
What I'm saying.
So why can't gay people? Listen. So listen. Why do my beliefs matter?
They letting people choose.
I ain't got nothing to do with faith. I hate it. So why do my beliefs matter?
Choices, though, right?
I don't respect nothing.
But of all the dark and sinister things he's admitted to on video or claimed he's done in the past, none are quite as hard for even his followers to stomach than his proud claims of abusing women. Over the years, Charleston has made it pretty evident that he isn't exactly a model husband. However, he claims that his constant cheating is tolerated by his wife.
There's some women still put the Lord on the ass. I'm not bullshitting. That's probably why I went to jail. Yeah. That's why I tell me, baby, stop praying. Shit. Yeah, that's probably why I went to jail. Yeah, she said, baby, I just pray about it. See, I come home, Bible be open sometime. I come in the house, nigga, she listen to that gospel shit. I'm man. Happy, nervous and scared. Yeah, so she just turned me over to the Lord, like mama used to say. Yeah. Baby, they said I'm back home. Have I ever left home, baby?
Never left.
I just went and got another spot.
However, that's barely scratching the surface here, as he's also claimed in the past that he has no issues with hitting women if he has to.
I went to 7 strip club last night. There wasn't no police around. King Von's sister wasn't ready to go meet Von, and they were gonna be hugging and rubbing their elbows together. Had that little girl hit me. Yeah. Bitch hit me. I turned into it. My hand turned bisexual. Bitch, she pow. Had my wife daughter. My wife daughter slapped me. I knocked her head off her shoulder.
But unfortunately, things get even darker from here, as in various interviews, he's spoken out about how he took advantage of women in the past.
Oh man, no, just sitting here talking to these people, telling about when I was just one girl one time. Could come home with me, let me heat on up. We worked together. She was allowed to me. She let me. She let me eat on up. And then when I get ready to stick it in, she say no. So I took it. That's right. That's what I told him I did the right thing. I'm verbally women. You got and I'm mentally. If then I do some psychological, it all wants what to do. I'm a man that strongly believe that some women need their whooping they too. So I'll advocate too for some people. So just need a so you get your fucking ass out of here if you got a problem with what I say.
So what? I done before. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that I done took some before. I'm still getting booked for shows. I just left Nashville. I'm over here by y'all, right by Canada. There go Canada right there. Look, I'm right by Canada. There go Canada right there, apple and peach. Who cares about a fat white rock? Y'all, I'm having so much goddamn fun. Getting booked for shows. When I leave here, guess where I'm going? Another state. I'm booked, brother. So who get that Charleston White then took some before?
As part of his larger hatred of other races, he's even claimed he did this as an act of revenge.
I don't give a damn about no monetization. You can't even talk to it like me. You can't even talk to it like me. I stood over a white man and watched him die when I was a kid. I'm an online brag about white hoes. You can't even speak to me. You won't even say the word Jew, boy. So like you can't even talk to no like me. And I know what a white boy look like when he died, take his last breath, like they used to do to niggas. I'm the first in America to ever come on any platform and brag about raping white women. What you gonna say to me?
Naturally, this has disgusted people who can't understand how anyone could stand idly by and defend that kind of behavior, let alone brag about it. Instead, Charleston has acted like it wasn't a big deal.
And I tell them everything they want to hear so I can tell them everything they need to hear. This is what redemption look like, man. Not the internet persona of the mother. This is what redemption really looks like, right? Because I wanted to kill. I wanted to be gangster. I wanted to take your daughter. If she came over here to my homeboy, she go all of us. We thought that was the culture, right? Run a train on the bitch. So too.
But to some people, this was the final straw, prompting an enraged D.L. Hughley to call him out on DJ Vlad.
I don't understand how some of these things happen. Like, I don't begrudge anybody having an opinion. When somebody talks about fucking a baby and raping women because they have a beef with somebody, and people think that that's acceptable, how the fuck does that happen?
Well, he had a comedy show that same weekend in New York.
I've been doing comedy a long time, and I think everything's fun. I don't think anything is off bounds in an artistic art form. But when you tell me, and if there were a punchline, whether I liked it or not, I'd get it.
Well, but it wasn't said in the context of a joke.
It wasn't at all.
With this kind of outlook, it's no surprise that he's recently defended Diddy, essentially advocating for domestic abuse in the process.
Well, I just want to say this. In some relationships, some people like fighting and fucking and making up. Shit, I know mine and my uncle did, and then just think, man, they was fucking and getting high together. They blowing cocaine, doing mileage. Now, don't act like Cassie don't like to fucking freak. And I'm sure, man, come on now. Nah, man, y'all ain't finna trick me to go against Diddy because he was whooping his bitch. And matter of fact, the bitch ain't come out and said it.
But this whole situation also provides another situation where he seems to have contradicted himself. After all, how could someone be responsible for all of that and then condemn Blueface's treatment on Krishan Rock?
Say, boy, Blueface, I got to give you coins. You are the modern day Ike Turner. Because there is no other musician, there is no other artist who I see fill the shoes of an abusive lover. I just want to remind you, young brother, cuz whoever you is or what you is, you're abusing those girls. Or you are demonstrating some of the most vile and most disrespectful behavior that any black man can display publicly to his baby mama. The shame that you bring to this little girl, I wouldn't be surprised if your baby have some emotional trauma that your child is dealing with, because you do know that whatever the mother feels while she's pregnant, the children, by way of the umbilical cord, feels what the mother feels.
By now, it's clear that Charleston White will say anything imaginable to stay in the public eye. The problem is that by now, people are getting desensitized to it. Nothing someone says can be exactly shocking when you're dealing with a man so hateful, he even has smoke for infants. Most recently, Island Boy's Fly Soldier's child.
I'm gonna make fun of you and your baby.
Hey, ass, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You receding hairline, bitch ass. Shut the fuck up. You wanna be a young so bad. You're scared because you're gonna get your ass beat. You're scared because you're gonna get your ass beat. That's cool.
The baby still got a chance. It's just stuck in that.
You talk about my nephew, I'll smack the shit out of you. I'll smack you. I'll smack you, boy. You're a snitch. How am I gonna respect you? You testify and understand. You're a snitch, and you pepper spray people.
The situation led him to being confronted by the kid's mother, only for him to refuse to back down, as always.
Girl like little bitty boy up out the show.
And you talk about our child and you're gonna get your ass beat, huh? Yeah, you talk about our child saying he's little.
Get your strong ass. Hey, get her. God damn. I thought that was Drewski walking by.
The baby's still ugly. I don't give a damn what she says. Yeah, it don't take away from what that baby look like. Just hopefully the baby grow up to be something better than what his daddy look like and behave much better. Yeah, fucking me about her baby. She know what that baby look like. She late, and I didn't.
Throughout the course of his time as a notable figure online, Charleston has proven that he'll do or say anything without remorse or concern. But clearly, there are times where he's gone too far. And now, we reach the point where he has so many enemies that they even pay for a chance to jump him at one of his comedy shows. And in the eyes of people like Boosie, there's only so long he can outrun everything he's said and done before it all catches up to him.
It's gonna be consequences behind it.
Everything you do is gonna have consequences.
Like that's just life, bro. Like you can't expect to say, for example, you just say fuck every Asian. I hope every Asian die, and going into the biggest Asian city in the world and not expect nothing to happen.
Right.
Like it's consequences about a lot of stuff you do in life, and that's just life.
But when you consider some of the viewpoints he's put forward here and the diabolical things he's admitted to, it's always a huge miscalculation when he said he's ultimately trying to make it as a star.
I'm on her bullshit. Why you taking me serious? I'm putting the gun to the phone. I'm trying to get into Hollywood. I'm reenacting President's Day. I'm doing all kind of shit, man. It's called content creation.
But there's no way he's gonna outrun what he said to integrate into Hollywood. With the kind of baggage he brings to the table, there isn't a company on earth that would invest in Charleston long term. So instead of professing to the movies like he believes he can, he's stuck doing whatever interview comes his way forever. And now, he has to do it looking over his shoulder. Because whether it's an Asian Crip, an animal rights campaigner, or the parents of a kid he's called ugly, this man has a world full of ops just waiting to catch him slipping. To understand what's going on with this viral craze, there's no better place than to begin with its originator, Skrilla, a lauded rapper from Philly. He's been a phenomenon on the local circuit for a while, racking up several regional smashes in recent years, but they've paled in comparison to what's been sparked by the recent release of Doot Doot 6'7" at the beginning of 2025. Memes pretty much run the internet these days, and lately it feels like they've gotten even more surreal and straight up ridiculous than ever. As the track gained traction, people immediately began to wonder exactly what he was seeking to communicate through the mantra. One theory was that it was police radio code, with 1067 being a report of death. As for others, they've theorized that it actually alludes to 67th Street, a location in Skrilla's native Philly where crime and violence have been rife for decades. But as is part of the allure of this mysterious new slang term, the rapper himself has kept it very cryptic in terms of what it actually represents.
Talk about the song 6'7". Why is it called 6'7"?
That's just what my brain thought of when I was making the song. 6'7".
But there's no like special meaning like behind it?
Yeah, 6'7".
It's just a number or a block or just a star?
It mean a block though, but that's not what it mean to everybody else now. So turn something negative to something positive.
Since then, any further attempts to explain it just bewildered people even more.
6'7" represents, it just represents my brain, like what comes up in my head. Everybody that I played it for fuck with it, but it was like funny. I liked it though, so I ended up leaking it on my Instagram to see what my fans thought, and hey, this shit went crazy. I was in 808 Southside. He got like a little studio mansion out here. He was in the basement recording, and I took over his session, and we just was bullshitting around, just like bed. And I start rapping, and everybody like kind of like making jokes, like with the shit I'm rapping about, like baby shark, do everybody like bed. And no, I did it probably in about like 10 minutes. Like 6-7 minutes. 6-7. Yeah, no, that's tough though. TK started that shit though, like doing this motion. 6-7. You ever heard of him? He the basketball player. He the one that started this.
Whatever it means, it catapulted him to fame beyond what he could have expected, even after he always figured that success has some kind of inbound.
Every single song I ever dropped, I expected that. Mm-hmm. Probably not like off of my album. I probably just expected like 10 of them not to be hits. I mean, not like 6, 7, 8 of them, like 6, 7 of them not to be hits.
But what many of the politicians and conservative moms on TikTok doing the meme likely don't know is that prior to the fame he's achieved today with a track referencing Baby Shark, Skrilla was embroiled in gang warfare and moving weight in the neighborhood. In the same vein as many rappers who've made it out from Philly in recent years, Skrilla embarked on a career as an artist once he realized that he needed a way out of the oppressive cycle of his life in the hood. From his early teens, Skrilla found himself dealing drugs in order to sidestep his poor financial circumstances. But it didn't just garner him a reputation in the streets, but became very acquainted with the legal system.
I used to put my uniform on and go to school and just come to the block. My mom thinking I'm in school the whole time. On the block. I remember I bust my first trap. Almost got booked my first trap, bro. I'm a kid, bro. This is my first time ever trapping, bro. Not right on this block, but the cops is sitting right there just looking at me like, you f***ing thick kid. They jump out the wheel, I just take off. You're probably one of the best schools.
99% of everybody that go there go to college.
I graduated on house arrest. I was on house arrest for 2.5 years. I graduated on house arrest. I don't do like no hardcore. I don't do, you know what I'm saying? little shit like that.
I did it so long that I got caught so many times, he said. I spent 2 years on house arrest fighting those cases. I did good in school, so the school's representative would come to my court dates and stick up for me. We always had money. It was just dirty as shit. Back in the day, I first jumped off the porch and started trapping. All we do is trap all day every day, from morning to nighttime. In the event that you're unfamiliar with the block he just referenced, it has a nickname, Zombieland. Before me, nobody would claim Kensington, he says. In Kensington, there's life. Everybody's just having fun. Even most of the people on drugs and shit. Come down there in the summertime one day. Cookouts on the block, everybody's outside. It's a family for real. Most of the people that's down there have been there for a while. We all know each other. I'll jump out the car, no security, sit out there and just chill. As is evident, Skrilla isn't one to shy away from how both the distribution and consumption of drugs has been a cornerstone of his existence in Zombieland. In fact, he has strongly implied in recent interviews that even if he isn't trapping anymore, he's still on the fringes of that life.
I tried to take one of my friends, Chad, I grew up with, to one of my shows. I ain't gonna brag, but they ain't let me come in the show because I had fiends with me.
For real? They wouldn't let him in?
Yeah, and then before I came, I made sure they wasn't on no dirty shit. They had no noodles out. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? No, like they was probable, like passable to come inside the show with me. They ain't let them in the club. I said, why? They said, cause they high. I'm like, how you gonna say something like that though? I got like 10 people with me though. They like, nah, cause they high. I'm like, how you gonna say that? That's discrimination, you know what I'm saying? And they like, well, they just can't come in. Like, that shit over, they just can't come in.
But becoming the de facto king of Kensington didn't happen overnight. In fact, Skrilla has ties to the biggest and most infamous individuals to have sprung up from the Philly scene. And if British PM Keir Starmer knew about Skrilla's late friend and collaborator YBC Dole, you can bet that he'd never been reluctant to associate himself with the trend.
What was your relationship with YBC Dole?
YBC Dole, that was my brother. That was like my real brother. Rest in peace, Dole.
Known as Philly's resident Mr. Disrespect, Dole was openly bragging about the criminal stuff he was involved in on a day-to-day basis.
And he got gun butted with it.
You don't feel weird speaking about that publicly?
No, we do this shit.
Beyond that, he relentlessly dissed his ops to the point that he wore his title of the most hated rapper in Philly like a badge of honor, rather than a cause for alarm.
I saw a documentary about you that said you're the most hated rapper in Philadelphia. Is that cap?
You know that ain't no f***ing bluff.
Does that make you upset at all, or you don't care?
I like that shit. They hate me, that mean they like me, or they do something, like, feel me, like, they
You're
paying attention. They paying attention, and I make them feel some type of way. So if I can make you feel some type of way, I'm gonna keep making you feel some type of way. Bro, all the real niggas with me. What Lil Durk say at the end of that song? Like, real niggas with me, like, the street could vouch for me. Anywhere I go, nobody don't play with me. I never got robbed. I never got touched, shot at in the city yet.
This was perhaps best exemplified by digging up the graves of fallen enemies.
Kwani still ain't got no tombstone, might go dig up his dirt.
Ain't got no f***ing tombstone, I'm gonna dig his dirt up. Hey, yo, where the Kwani at, yo? Kwani, where the f*** you at? Ah!
A man who was merciless in his mockery. There are too many instances of YBC dissing his ops. At one stage, he even posted a picture of a rival CCK member in a casket. In moments of clarity, Dole acknowledged that he and his friends, including Skrilla, had wreaked havoc upon his own city and permanently changed it for the worse.
So you say you tortured the whole block?
We tortured the whole hood though, like nobody don't come outside around her. We walking through blocks, you don't see nobody. Look, this shit a desert town, ghost town, bro, nobody outside. We the hood up. Like when you in down Kensington, how the whole, like everywhere outside, bro, it's not like you gonna get shot down here, bro. Like with that shit I be talking about in my reps, bro, that shit real, go listen to it. I mean, bro, that wasn't the game plan to f it up. We it up already, like, feel me? Like the goal to get rich, feel me? But some shit came in the midst to get rich.
And in his less humble moments, he boasted that he'd somehow managed to avoid being struck with gunfire.
A lot of got overcooked.
Yeah, what's the difference between getting overcooked and getting undercooked in the streets?
You get 3 times, he undercooked. When nigga get hit with 8 or more, he overcooked. It depends where you hit him at. I ain't get hit yet.
When you say hit, do you mean hit by gun bullet?
Yeah, got by gun bullet.
You never been hit?
Yeah, I ain't get hit yet.
And how many times you been doing the hit?
We been doing this shit for a long time now.
More than 10?
10 posted up, I hop out, switch the crowd. All is running with they hot stand shoot back, like where y'all glizzy now?
But all of that would be derailed by his vicious murder that occurred shortly after he'd been on Instagram Live, arguing with his enemies.
You the bitch. I'm going outside.
This what y'all want to see? Y'all favorite rapper don't got no right. He never jumped out. He never jumped out on no block. Well, all he I did. Talking about. Well, all he I did. Bro, you any nigga, you don't go on no hits. Well, all he, on my man 100, on my man J100, I've been on multiple drills.
Since the loss, Skrilla has been notably torn up about it, saluting his fallen friend whenever the opportunity arises.
I knew dude, bro, since we was young. We went to high school together.
Oh, sir.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They're the same age. We wasn't best friends in high school, but we was cool. Like, we see each other, we talk to each other, we chill and all that. We already had like a little bond, and then he was rapping, I was rapping, and we just like, everybody he around, I know, and everybody I'm around, he know. Like, that shit was already like.
Despite seeing the toll that the streets can take on those around him, Skrilla insists he's not afraid to do dirt in his own right and suffer the consequences. This includes his long-term beef with OT7 Kwani.
I'm ready to throw my life away, bro. I ain't got no rap, bro. Like, really, like, I run around like that, bro. But Kwani not really like one of them, no, bro. Kwani really like, I bet you, he's a, matter of fact, didn't he just sign his deal? Yeah. I doubt he gonna be in Philly, bro. I like, he should move from out of Philly, bro. I doubt he's gonna be out in Philly, bro, but.
Now, even though he's squashed that feud ever since, it doesn't mean that he's turned over a new leaf. In truth, there are some who feel that the song that launched the whole 6'7" phenomenon may be a subliminal shot at a rival crew. When asked about the 6'7" area of Philly, Skrilla informed everyone that his friend Duty Baby was from there.
6'7", that's where all my young boys, like, that's where my young boys from. You ever heard of Duty Baby?
However, this isn't the truth at all. In addition to being a rapper in his own right, Duty Baby is seemingly entrenched in the streets and is cited as an alleged shooter of a rival known as HL Osama from CCK. Meanwhile, one guy who truly claims 6'7" is YSN Youth.
It was Philly man at one point in time, man. What do 6'7" mean to me? That shit a lot. That shit more than what y'all think it is. That shit deeper than 6'7". That shit deeper than rap. We got real blood in with this shit. Like me and my homies, like in my blood eyes, like we got blood in with this shit. Like 6'7" just ain't no. But that shit mean a lot, bro. That shit deeper than rap.
Prior to Skrilla's song ever emerging, Youth dropped a track dubbed 6'7" as a homage to his YSN crew. For those who don't know, that's an active gang that's taken heavy losses over the past few years, including 2 members who were killed during a robbery that went wrong. And since Skrilla's song and the meme that went along with it took off, YSN Youth has had the real 6'7" in his IG bio, alongside droplets of blood. Yet, just when you thought things couldn't get any more confusing, it seems like there might not be smoke after all, as Skrilla was actually saluted by YSN Youth during an interview in 2025.
Skrilla, like
you influenced him?
Everybody, like, that's my man. We went song for song. He gave me a verse. I owe him a verse right now. I owe Skrilla a verse right now. I'm gonna get that done soon, but I owe Skrilla a verse or whatever, but he been saying 6'7". Like, he got a song with G Herbo saying that shit and all. Like, he been saying that shit. When he was saying it, he made a video, like, the song, I was gonna hop on that joint and all that. He said he was gonna put me on and all that, but I was out Egypt. I'm out Egypt buying a house, you feel me? Like, I'm out Egypt buying a house.
Upon examination of Skrilla's life in Philly, it's pretty obvious that there's a few potential underlying meanings to 6'7". But now that we at least have an idea of its origins and its theoretical ties to the violent underworld of Philly, it's now time to examine how it spread like wildfire across the entire world. Not to mention the conspiracy theories that have people believing that its negative influence on kids goes far beyond run-of-the-mill concerns over rap music's corrupting influence. When it comes to the accompanying meme and its signature hand movement, it should be stressed that Skrilla really isn't behind that. Like countless trends, its original source material have been warped and co-opted in ways he could never imagine. When it comes to the move that you see all the kids do, its roots can be traced back to Taylon Kinney, a high school basketball player and future University of Kansas student who plays for Rod Wave Elite of the Overtime Elite Basketball League.
It's a good amount of yards to pick up on first down without picking up a first down.
6'7".
How does that Lil Wayne song you like go?
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, hut, 6'7".
6'7".
6'7".
6'7".
Since it all began, Taylon realized there was a bag to be gained from his affiliation with the meme, and it has progressed to the point that he made a canned water line out of his affiliation of the phrase.
I'm Tay Kenny, this 6'7" water.
But it wouldn't be solely him that brought it to the mainstream. Ultimately, a kid who latched onto it did a lot of the heavy lifting too. Now known as the 6'7" kid, his face has become one of the defining images of the entire phenomenon, being twisted and contorted in countless ways since it began. However, the basketball connections didn't conclude there, with Skrilla's original track being used to soundtrack video clips of the 6'7" NBA basketball star, LaMelo Ball. Over time, this became so prominent that he even acknowledged it himself.
You don't just play ball, you're so good at creating memes. You got 6'7", you got Outrun It, you got a lot more. But which one is your personal favorite?
You said creating memes?
Yes.
I think that's something that just happens. I don't really know.
You don't have like a favorite one?
A favorite one? That 6'7" one going crazy right now. That's probably the one on top of my head. Hey, look at Big Dog in the back hitting it. Yeah, I see him.
As parents scrambled for an answer, TikTok creators attempted to explain what was going down.
And not just content creators, but actual basketball players in press conferences and things like that are saying 6'7", and so it just continues to become a thing. And now it is something that you're just trying to use to get somebody to reference the number 6'7". Like, how tall are you? 6'7". What time is it? 6'7". What's that? 6'7". There is literally no circumstance where a kid might not say 6'7". So all of this to say, 6'7" is just a reference to a meme. There is no real meaning to it. It is a number that is fun to say, popularized by a meme with the hand motions, and it just doesn't mean anything.
With confusion deepening over the years, it got to the point that it even made the news.
This is the most searched slang word in Massachusetts this year. 6'7". If you're a parent, if you're a teacher, you know exactly what we're talking about. Psychologists say these trends are not harmful, parents. They're actually a way for kids to bond, feel included, and connect with their friends.
Something tells us you've been hearing this at home a lot.
I do have to say, you just did it. Can you do it again? Because you did.
6'7".
Yet, while some coverage of it has been lighthearted, there are some who are convinced that it has demonic undertones.
Your kids have been saying these numbers because of a viral meme right now. But if you ask them what it means, they'll say nothing. Ugan, the demonic spirit of iron, with the sacred number of 6. Yamuja, the goddess of the ocean, with the sacred number of 7. 6, 7. Devil worship disguised as a trend. So protect your kids and don't get caught lacking.
But it's fair to say that not everyone is buying it, and insisting that anyone peddling this kind of explanation bought into mass hysteria. I agree that 6'7" is silly, but this video is fear-mongering. Delete this. It's misinformation. Good lord, it's not that deep, bro. But while this might be a little overblown, one thing that is tangibly exacerbating the panic over 6'7" goes back to Skrilla himself. Because over the entirety of his career, Skrilla has been open about his spiritual side in a way that can't go overlooked. Back in 2024, Skrilla made an entire album, Underworld, dedicated to his orishas. And if you're not familiar with that term, it basically means he practices Santeria, which is where those spiritual figures come from.
A lot of people on the internet, they think that you're a Satanist, right? People are like, oh my God, he does sacrifices, he's a Satanist.
Yeah.
That's not true though. What's the reality of it, right? You don't have to say what you are, but are you a Satanist?
Yeah, no, I'm a santo, I'm a palero. That's how they look at it though, because it's different. But like, cause they not used to, you know what I'm saying? No,
you don't worship Satan.
No, though.
Over the course of his rise, Skrilla has been open about what it entails to the point that it seemed to shock Adam 22 during his appearance on No Jumper.
What religion exactly do you represent?
I'm a santo, I do palo. I'm a santo.
What's that mean exactly?
Like, all that sacrificing goats and all that shit not just for like, that's real life.
You sacrificed a goat?
You seen that shit, bro. That's real life, bro.
Really?
I sacrifice goats, chickens, mice. Like, I do shit for certain shit, though. Like, I'm not allowed to explain it how you want me to explain it. I think how you want me to explain it, but yeah.
Well, I can do my research. That's interesting.
It ain't even gonna, you're not even gonna find it
it's
like
hard
that.
to Google?
In an attempt to educate people, his interview with Brandon Buckingham even saw him decode some of the practices that people found so shocking.
Yo, I'm about to take y'all in my godfather crib so he can show y'all some shit with my religion.
Starts off with Elegua, which is the path opener, Ogun, Ochosi, Shango, Aigayu, Ochun, Yemaya, Oya, San Lázaro, and Obatala.
What do these figures mean in the religion?
This is an ancient religion. It comes from Africa. These are times of the slaves. They used to practice this religion. They wasn't allowed to, so they had to disguise it. They used to go in to church with the Catholics and pray to their gods, but in reality, they were praying to the African god.
But in a society where anything unorthodox is often seen as evil, this revelation, combined with lyrics and other songs about snatching souls being his whole life goal, are causing further moral panic.
Sacrifice a goat. Sacrifice goats, chickens, mice.
It was so weird how many people were like, guys, this isn't demonic. This is his cultural religion and there's nothing demonic about it. I have 8 words for you. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Skrilla does not hide the fact that he is heavily involved in spell work.
You could put, you could put bad spirits on people too. Like you could put a person's name and like their birthday and shit like that inside the. You could put them inside the Agun pot. Like you basically sending Agun like metal, like they can get shot, stabbed, something can happen to them.
So it would be something in metal that would kill them. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's different ways you could do things though. Like you can actually put somebody's name in your shoe and keep it or in the bottom of your sock or in your shoe, like bad shit happens.
As the phenomenon of 6'7" deepened, the concern over what it really represents has been parodied by South Park.
6'7" on South Park, that's crazy. I grew up watching South Park. That shit like, I don't even know the words for it though, but that shit like, damn. I didn't even know that they were doing no shit like that though. I just seen it on Instagram, and when I seen it, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. 6'7".
But when it really comes down to it, the only thing that's inherently dark about saying those two numbers, one after another, is that it might drive those around you insane. Whatever ties to the streets that Skrilla may have been alluding to, what's happening now with 6'7" and its moment of mainstream appeal is no different to the countless memes that have come before. In reality, this has been happening forever. Back before the term meme was commonplace, British writer Charles Mackay wrote about the variety of fad words and phrases that spread throughout London during the 19th century. One was quaz, with Mackay revealing that every alehouse resounded with quos, every street corner was noisy with it, and every wall for miles around was chalked with it. Perhaps the biggest fad word at the time was flare-up. Mackay observed that during its peak, nothing was to be heard over London but flare-up. It answered all things, settled all disputes, was applied to all persons in all circumstances, and suddenly became the most comprehensive phrase. Looked at through this lens, it's basically no different from when everyone was yelling "what's up" in the early 2000s.
Hello? What's that? What's Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie. Yo. What's that? What's that?
Whether you want to call it a meme or a fad word, the concept has persisted through this day, and over time, these temporarily relevant things disappear just as fast as they came. For now, some people are still relishing every opportunity to soak up what remains of 6'7".
Back to the line, rattles in the first. Honey having the best game of her Auburn career today. Only the 4th game of the season, but she's got 15 points, 5 of 6.
Meanwhile, others, including Taylon Kinney, are getting sick of it.
How many points are we going to see out of you in this first round?
5.
Come on now.
5.
But if you think that he's had enough, it pales in comparison to what exasperated teachers are enduring day in and day out.
So here, this is the rule in Mrs. Laplander's room. We are not saying the word 6'7" anymore. If you do, you have to write a 67-word essay about why, like what the word 6'7" means. And if you do it again, another 67-word essay. And after 5 times, if you're still saying 6'7" in this classroom, your essay is going to bop up to 670 words.
As for Skrilla, he is majorly riding the wave of buzz, claiming we'll even see him in the most anticipated video game of the era.
And they're gonna have 6'7" on there too.
It's gonna be Florida. Sick. Isn't it Florida?
6'7" on there.
Oh, 6'7's on it? Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
Definitely gonna be me and my own person on there, playing my own music.
Yeah. You gotta get an alligator. You gotta talk to. You gotta talk to Rockstar. Get your character and an alligator.
I know you're probably thinking that the obvious answer is to just get a job. After all, that's what the vast majority of us do to pay the bills. However, there are dangers that come with attempting to have a role like that once your face has been plastered all over TV, especially if you're considering having any sort of customer service job. To demonstrate this, look no further than someone like Young Jock. Back in the day, the southern rap mainstay made some major waves. His breakout track, Going Down, was a massive hit, with both his debut album New Jock City and its 2007 follow-up Hustlenomics peaking at number 3 on the charts. In chasing his dreams, he reached the heights of fame and fortune, but along the way, he got a first-hand look at the darker side of the industry, and that's thanks to his ties with Bad Boy Records and Diddy. In fact, he claims he saw some of the most heinous deeds firsthand.
I was watching Puff. Nigga Puff was looking up there. He saw this white woman. It was bottles on bottles on bottles around her. It was lit. Puff jumped out. Me and Cassie sitting next to each other. My wife right here, Cassie right here. The nigga jumped off the bar, came over and said, yo Cassie, tomorrow I want you to shave the side of your head. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of request is that? So when I'm like, what the fuck? So when I look up there, this white woman's side of her head was shaved, my nigga. So within like 2-3 days, she sent me a picture. I'm like, she done shaved her motherfucking head.
As is often the case, he was the forefront of the scene for a little while until he wound up as an independent artist. From there, he ventured into the reality TV world with a spell on Love and Hip Hop. But somewhere along the lines, it looked like he fell on enough hard times that it merited him becoming a driver for a rideshare app. And the minute that he was spotted, the public tried to clown the former star over his fall from grace.
I just want to ask a question. Are you Young Jock? Can you turn around?
I mean, I think y'all put that part together, yeah.
Oh, so you must have fell off or something like
I gotta fall off. I just felt like it's an easy way to get some easy money right here downtown. I meet people.
While there were naturally jokes being made, some people felt that he was treated unfairly by being put on blast like that. What is wrong with these people in the car with Young Jock? Can you turn around so I can post your face online? He's a human being. How are they gonna clown Young Jock for driving an Uber, but they need a ride? However, in spite of the internet leaping to his defense, Young Jock claimed that the whole thing was a misunderstanding and that he wasn't truly an Uber driver or anything like that. Apparently, the company he was working for was known as Pull Up and Go, who Jock has since claimed that he has 30% stake in. And to him, it was important to prove that just because you were once a famed rapper, it doesn't mean you're above putting in a day's work. You have to show them what humility is, and that you're not too big to do the right thing by making an honest living. I think that's why a lot of kids and even adults go astray, because they're too ashamed, they're too prideful to do something. The most phenomenal part of this experience from this going viral is the amount of support. In fact, later down the line, he went as far as to claim that the entire thing was a skit to promote the company.
So the dude that was actually in the car talking, he works for Pull Up and Go. The guy who was talking shit, him and the girl works for the company too. So I said, y'all sit in the back seat, I'ma drive, act like I'm driving, you talk shit to me. They was like, are you sure you wanna do this? Cause this could have a really serious backlash. I mean, people are gonna really think you broke. I said, I don't give a fuck. I said, when they find out what this shit is, how it works, and it's gonna be cheaper than goddamn Uber and Lyft, and people can make more money, I said, how you think I care fucking less? I said, I'll take 30% of $1 billion subscription-based app any day. And we did, and that shit said, boom, that shit went through the roof. I get money. I'm like, I'm on TV, radio, I still do fucking shows. What are y'all niggas talking about? Like, you should know me better than that. What the fuck would I be doing driving a goddamn Uber? When the people who know me sit back and be like, that was some genius-ass marketing. You was just willing to put yourself in the fire.
But even though he proclaimed that he was an investor, rather than your average worker, the response he got spoke to the stigma attached to taking on a regular job after a prosperous rap career. Soon, he was shaded by 42 Doug and Lil Baby on the track We Paid, where he declared, coming out a legend from ATL isn't exactly cool for them to do, particularly because Lil Baby is from his town. But strangely, Jock didn't even catch the diss at first, and was playing it on his radio show without realizing.
Before I go broke like Jock. Which Jock? No, I heard Jock. I said, like,
he can't be talking about me.
I said, well, goddamn, then that thing, you know, that shit just went there.
He put two and two together. This the niggas in the Chargers.
That shit. No, I saw it.
And even after that, he insisted he felt no ill will about it.
Before I heard the words and all that part, I was just like, this shit, this nigga, go, I love that little nigga. And I hear that shit, I was like, oh my God. I saw like, they gonna be 2 years of jail.
Did you know that though?
Nah.
Did you ever meet him after the fact?
I ain't never seen him. But you gotta think here, just check this out. Coming off the radios, coming up, yeah, I wouldn't. Man, listen, man. Y'all edit the nigga up. Man, I don't give a fuck. That's home. I'm gonna hear that shit at home every day.
Whether or not he means it, Jock insists that he no longer wants to rap, and as he approaches his 50s, his mind is on other things.
I do a lot of producing.
Okay.
It's kind of like I'm not as passionate about rapping. So it's not like, I need to just get in here and just do something. I don't.
Right. You still perform your hits for the check,
yeah,
but you ain't going in there saying I'm working on no album, EP, mixtape, no shit like that.
Basically, they gotta get what you already gave because you're not coming with nothing new.
It's not even necessarily that. It's just like being inspired to do that.
Given everything else he's got going on, it's fair to say the dirt thrown on Jock's name for allegedly doing rideshare gigs didn't stick nearly as much as people expected it to. But for others, they just couldn't beat the allegations. Back in the mid-2000s, Roscoe Dash had some motion, with tracks like No Hands alongside Waka Flocka making him a notable name in the industry. But his solo major label project, 2010's Ready Set Go, failed to make the splash he hoped. And after that, his career was left to flounder due to what he believed to be label drama.
Yo, what really happened? I was in a bad label situation, so I'm gonna say this just to set the record straight. Originally, when I went and did my deal, I did a management deal with Boom Man, right, from MMI at the time. He goes and gets me this deal, or tries to get me this deal with Def Jam. The situation with Travis Porter and whose record it is messed up the deal with Def Jam through Tony Neal.
But you signed the Boom Man on the management.
On the management, but I didn't know it was a 360. See what I'm saying? So he really had me on the management and the artist side, or the recording side too, but I didn't know that at the time. 18 years old, I ain't know. When we get to the next situation with the furnishing company furnishing me the Interscope, he had already sold my contract. I think I was working on Can't Catch the Lambo at this time, or Demolition 2020. He sold my contract to that furnishing company and got out the way, but he had already hit my publishing too. So it just created a bad situation for everybody involved.
So he done got the publishing, the deal with the label. So he done already made his money. So he like, here, y'all can have him.
That's why MMI is not MMI no more, because he even fell out with the business partner. See what I'm saying? That's why I changed to Authentic Empire. That's really Roscoe Dash money that he went and started that label with. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, yeah. So, and that's when the whole trajectory of what he was doing changed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of to the wolves at that point, because I'm with some new people that I just met through a furnishing company. I'm signed to a deal with a major label. So this is really my shot that I wanted as a kid, dreaming of getting a record deal, but it's tied to some other bullshit too.
And while we didn't hear much about what was occurring with his life, the last thing that people expected was that he would go from number 13 on the charts to being outed online as working for Lyft. Back in 2017, Twitter user @PMPortier called out Dash for a canceled ride, claiming, "I had somewhere to be, so since you inconvenienced me, I'ma expose you're a Lyft driver now." As the public got the usual jokes off about a fallen star, he attempted to downplay it immediately with a lengthy statement. Earlier today, it was brought to my attention that a Twitter user tweeted out a screenshot from a Lyft fare, which included a picture of myself in a white Tahoe. First things first, yes, that is my vehicle. Yes, that is me in the photo. There is no denying that. Why would I? However, I do not drive Lyft. I own several vehicles, and periodically I lend them to my friends so they are able to make a little extra cash. I consider myself a successful entrepreneur. While talking to any successful businessman, they'll tell you the same thing. Creating multiple streams of income is the key to a long and very lucrative career financially. Billing himself as a successful businessman, Roscoe later doubled down and detailed exactly what was occurring.
Know what y'all probably thinking? Does Roscoe drive Lyft? Is this not the same white Tahoe that is circulating all around the internet? Is that not a Lyft sticker on the same Tahoe that is circulating around the internet right now? The answer is yes. Now, this is one of my vehicles. For those of y'all who don't know me, I have children. Can't fit too many kids in a coupe, okay? So this is one of my cars. When I'm not using it, when I'm not traveling, when I'm doing whatever I'm doing with it, I allow people, friends, family, whatever, to come and use the car for whatever reasons, whether that be partying, transportation services.
But for all that he tried his utmost to shoot himself some bail, not everyone was buying his explanation. Funny story. I live in Atlanta. I used to work for a cell phone call center and I was going to lunch. I saw him in an alley and it looked like he was cleaning it out. Come to find out, he was a Lyft driver. He had Uber and Lyft stickers on the back of his car. When I looked in his direction, he gave me the deer in the headlights look. He claimed in 2017 that he lends cars out to his friends, but is his face on the app when it says someone is approaching? As harsh as it is, audiences will always have something to say when a former star falls on hard times. Even if they still work in the arts, years, but simply take another route, it may still be regarded as a fall off by an audience who want to see you out there flexing as hard as possible as the ultimate marker of success. This is most certainly the case for Rory, an artist who came into the game with a lot of big chatter around his future, but ultimately couldn't deliver on the promise he showed. After making his name on the underground scene with his unique blend of rap that came coupled with influences from other genres, Rory signed to Columbia and was pushed so hard initially that it sparked the industry plant chatter. Along the way, his unorthodox vibe meant that he was quickly compared to literal legends long before he'd proven anything.
I'm sure you hear this and know this and are doing it on purpose, but Andre 3000 sounds like is your...
You hear me talking right now? I'm talking, and I spend large hours of my days alone. I don't believe we share universal space alone. It's the same voice as my normal voice, you get what I'm saying? So it's nothing being done on purpose.
No, it's just part of who you are.
It's something, yeah, in a southern drawl, and people see it in my face somewhat, our facial hair, and no matter what I put out, classical music their whole life. Shit, I study Andre,
yeah.
I study, and I'm not ashamed of it. I love it,
shouldn't be, bro.
And I own it.
Despite some big singles such as Devil's Whisper, his 2015 debut album ultimately flopped and peaked at number 77 with 5,900 sales. Following that, he endured 3 years in the wilderness before 2018 when he finally got off his label. I want out of the label when the people who believed in me transitioned jobs to be replaced by strangers who don't know me. Rory explained in detail in a follow-up email. I went to Coachella without any support from the label. It was like they were trying to put me in a position of fear and weakness so I could run out of money and they could control me. I would rather take my career on a path where I can play with my friends, stay with my family, and remain physically, psychologically, and spiritually well. Clearly, Rory was happy to sacrifice the prospect of commercial success in order to enact the vision that he had for his music. And while it likely isn't lucrative, Rory continues to bring his music to the people in numerous ways. For starters, he's leading a nonprofit known as The Woods Worldwide, which is focused on expanding a culture of sustainability, art, healing, and autonomy through creating recurring events such as concerts, jams, keiko ceremonies, yoga sessions, and multimedia productions. As part of this mission, he's been performing in a whole host of unconventional spaces.
Hey T.O., come check this out. 7 to midnight, tonight. 10:18, still in a dope performance. Among the Ruins, check it out. I'll be there, make sure you pull up.
Alongside that, he runs a jam night in ATL, enabling budding musicians to literally perform alongside him. In terms of his own output, he's still prolific when it comes to dropping music. The only problem is that it's reaching an increasingly smaller audience. And while it would be fine if he was content with that, you get the same sense that he still pines for a mainstream comeback, with the multi-talented artist taking to social media to try and hop on TikTok trends. Ultimately, there's no harm in Rory secretly harboring a desire to be at the top of the industry again. After all, it's understandable that he, just like everyone else, wants another shot at glory. At the end of the day, these aspirations don't hurt anyone, and in the process, he seems to be trying to uplift his community. But unfortunately, not everyone takes such a noble route when they venture back into normal life after a run at the top. Because for some of them, the prospect of going back to a 9-to-5 doesn't compute for them. In fact, they decide to use their platform to try and make a quick, dishonest buck from their once loyal fans. For a brief moment, YBN Nahmir looked to have the world in his hands. Alongside Almighty J and Corday, his crew, who began linking up on Xbox Live before venturing into the real world, were touring the globe on the strength of the buzz around the collective. But after his comrades left him behind, YBN Nahmir's career has been a train wreck. Or a soul train wreck to be more specific.
Oh, hell no. Bro, I'm scared to put my headphones back on. Bro, I hear the trash without hearing the trash. Why is this nigga talking like that? Bro, it sound like somebody pulling your nuts.
Ever since the track with the historically savage dislike ratio first emerged, Nahmir has been written off as a laughingstock. And now that no one is checking for him anymore, he's ripping off his own fans by flagrantly refusing to do what he said he would do for them. Since then, he's engaged in fraudulent IG giveaways, reportedly making off with $7K in the process.
So they posted this on their story, blocked me after stealing $7,000 from me. YBN Nahmir, gotta be the brokest rapper out there. He ran off with the money months ago. I decided to reach out one last time yesterday, and this is the DM conversation with them. Supposed to go live in 1 or 2 hours. Oh, I bet, about to hit him now. So when we gonna get our money back? Bro, I've been going through real life I'll get you your money. I don't even check my DMs. I'm not in control of any of that. I don't even know what bread you're talking about. I've never been in control of that.
This is clearly very shady behavior, but thankfully, he's regularly got his comeuppance. Back when Aiden Ross was initially toying with the idea of launching his own boxing promotion, he intended to set up a fight between streamer Annoying TV and formerly prominent rapper YBN Namir. With his buzz long gone and his crew long gone, Aiden offered him $20K to fight on his live stream. Yet when Namir asked for 100 grand to show up, Aiden publicly ridiculed him on stream.
YBN Namir versus Annoying TV, but YBN Namir asked for $100,000, bro. Top literally laughed at the manager and hung up. You rappers that have not made a hit, no disrespect, stop asking for too much money, bro. You are not getting it, bro. You are not getting that shit, bro. No, stop. Namir, you're not worth $100,000. You fell off. You suck at music. You failed your music career.
On top of that wake-up call from Aiden, Namir has also been trolled on his IG DMs. At times, the results have gone viral, with the screenshots not only unveiling his minuscule feature cost, but how badly he's been rinsed by others. How much for a feature plus promo? I'm Brady. 1K, brother. Let's get it. Sadly, Namir isn't the only one who's gone down this immoral route. Among the very wave of artists that J. Cole was referring to on 1985, everyone knows by now how much his shows dried up long after his initial wave withered away. But much like Namir, he didn't let this deter him from trying to get money out of his unwitting audience. At one stage, he was setting up beat battles, which he charged $15 to enter. But according to those involved, it was just an elaborate scam. On his Instagram, he said that he got 650 beats, submissions, and went through all of them in 2 days, 5 hours each day. Even if each beat was 1 minute long, he wouldn't have enough time to listen to all those beats entirely. It should have been handled a bit differently if you're paying money to get it judged. All in all, they didn't organize this very well, and they surely didn't put in the time or effort for this event not to look like a big sham. Edit. I was told a lot of people had mail trackers and their beat wasn't open. Wow, if that doesn't make you think differently of an artist. As if that wasn't enough to permanently sour the public on the Dead Star rapper, he then executed a crypto rug pull as well. Initially, Perp and his manager promised a fair launch, only for them to backpedal and claim they were selling only to cover costs, but were in it for the long haul and it was time to build. And with that, any last chance there was of him redeeming himself in the eyes of his audience were long gone. Sadly, this behavior is incredibly prevalent among the SoundCloud generation, with many of them who've since flopped enlisting their massive online followings that they garnered at their height to rinse anyone they can. Among them who have been guilty of this is Skinny from the 9, a New Jersey rapper best known for tracks like Love Blast and Jump Out That with the late PNB Rock. The artist fell off without ever releasing a mixtape, but because of the audience he'd accrued, he began scamming his fans, hitting a quick lick via fake promos. And while it probably brought in some money in the short term, it was ultimately counterproductive when you consider that everyone now knew he wasn't to be trusted. And since then, it's only gotten worse as it's become clear that he will assign his cosign to anything. These days, his account is basically the IG equivalent of the classified ads section of a newspaper. While it's definitely not a victimless act, scamming people like this is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the dangerous paths some artists take after the fame fades. Because for a few of them, life after the spotlight gets so dark that it ends with years behind bars. Briefly, Fetty Wap was once ruling the commercial roost, with an upside potential which seemed to stretch for years to come. With tracks like Trap Queen and 679, Fetty arrived on the charts as though he would never leave. But unfortunately, it wasn't built to last. This is something that Fetty essentially saw happening in real time.
I know for a fact I was clearing 100,000 every day. Now, the day I woke up and I only made like 40,000, I'm like, some shit ain't right. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, 40,000, 40,000, 40,000, 30,000. Hey, we want to book Fetty for 50,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. This is what time?
This is the end of 2017. And I'm like, all right, it's happening. I'm like, this will shit start getting dark.
Left to fend for himself, those who were close to him say the label basically left him behind the moment that they felt there was nothing more to gain.
Looking on the outside, I hear people hate on Fetty even now, saying things like, oh, he fell off. And it's like, do you mean he fell off as in he doesn't make good music anymore? Because he still makes that quality type of music. But if a record label is no longer pushing you or they got you on the shelf and they pushing somebody else, then that's the reason why you're not hearing him no more. So are you talking about fell off because you don't hear him no more? Or are you talking about fell off because his talent died die down. You know, and a lot of people don't understand that when they get the bash and the talking, it's like, what are we talking about here?
And once the money is dried up, Fetty Wap struggled to adjust his lifestyle. With that, he reportedly started selling drugs and wound up indicted by the feds. During his trial, his lawyer claimed that the pandemic meant that there were no opportunities to perform. Thus, his income was severely limited. He was sued personally, was going through a divorce, and was involved with a tour manager who was stealing from him. While the bills kept coming in, the money to pay them was running out. When it was all said and done, Fetty was sentenced to 6 years in prison in New York and is currently serving his sentence at a low-security prison in Sandstone, Minnesota. From #1 albums to incarceration, Fetty's downward trajectory shows just how bad it can get when an artist's career dies out and they haven't envisioned how to get themselves out of that hole.
I know Fetty Wap the rapper. I don't know no drug dealing, you know, like that. But of course, I see a lot with local rappers, and you know, especially with local rappers. Because once you spend all your money, you got to go back to what you know. I see it more happen with artists that's not at the top, that haven't been to the top. I ain't never really seen it with rappers who are already up there, then go back all the way to the streets, you know, like heavy in the game.
However, while many of these artists wind up being cautionary tales, there can be positives that emerge from leaving the rap game behind at the right time to pursue a new career. Best known for his hit single All Gold Everything, Trinidad James was the epitome of a one-hit wonder. But rather than fade into obscurity, he wound up hosting Full Size Run, a sneaker show on Complex, which pulls in major views on a regular basis. According to James, this essentially happened just because he seized an opportunity.
Was there ever a conscious moment where you were like, I want to become a commentator, I want to become a podcaster, I want to transition, I want to be able to talk on camera, and that is part of my value. I'm not just a music guy.
No, I never think about the next step when it comes to like really thinking it out. I worship things being organic. Like I really look forward to things being organic. The Complex thing, you know, when it really popped up, it just kind of popped up, bro. Like I did this show as a guest, and then my accountant was like, hey, bro, maybe you should go up there and fucking do the show. And I was like, I don't need that money. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about the money. I wasn't thinking like how I need to think, which is like business.
Building something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, this is a new chance for me to come, you know, pitch my brand.
But they don't always have to segue into the media to be regarded as a success. Some of them simply made shrewd business moves. While most of his peers churned to scamming after falling off, Comethazine stuck to the same grind mindset he had back when he was juggling a bunch of jobs before going all in on music.
I used to make pieces and shit. I used to work in the food court in the mall, and I was a mechanic. I was still putting out music, doing everything, going to parties and shit, chilling with motherfuckers, but I was just a mechanic, making money, making dough, making way more than other niggas was making, you feel me? Like niggas had jobs, but niggas were mechanics, bro.
Lost in a sea of similar artists, he admitted he was just another SoundCloud era rapper, even though he knew he was capable of more. I actually used to write. I flowed on some Joey Badass type shit, he says. That shit wasn't going nowhere for me. So I was like, let me do some ignorant shit, see if this shit works. But his whole career wasn't exactly built to last. For starters, his initial buzz came by accident. His song Bands got mistakenly swapped into the spot where YBN Namir's track was supposed to be, which led to an accidental #1 on SoundCloud. What happened was that an account known as SoundCloud had previously been hosting YBN Namir's viral single Bounce Out With That. After that track accumulated millions of plays and climbed to the top of the charts, the account took advantage of SoundCloud's option to substitute new audio files at any time. So following a quick swap, Comethazine's Bands appeared to have millions of plays and sat atop SoundCloud's chart. However, people started to notice and the song was taken down. After this happy mishap, Walk made him a fully fledged star, resulting in his biggest record ever. But he never truly took to the charts the way that people expected. And besides that, he had a combative relationship with fans, often warring with them in his DMs. Where the features at, bro? Why you do us like that, bro? A whole ass year for a mid-ass album with no features. Nah, you not a fan. I don't do features. Never have, never will, bitch boy. Although treating your fans like that is pretty inadvisable, he maybe felt empowered to do so because he future-proofed his life by buying up Subway locations.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Couple businesses, 35 fat burgers.
35 fat burgers?
Subways. I got a couple Subways already.
For real?
Residual income, come on now.
Nah, that's fire. Shout out to you.
Come on now, man. I seen so many rappers do this shit for like 2 years and be done with it. What, you feel me? Like, come on now. Gotta be smart with that shit. I still got ice and shit, but like, I got a couple businesses already.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dang, you got 2 Subways already? That's very impressive.
And while that is definitely a smart strategy, he'll certainly hope his staff are a little more civil to customers than he is to his audience. Comethazine's example is one that more rappers of his era should heed, but he's far from the only rapper to have seen the writing on the wall. Just like Comethazine, New York rapper Mike Geronimo seemed aware that his time in the game was finite. Even though his debut album The Natural suggested there was big things ahead, Mike couldn't ever make the transition to a fully fledged star who could make a real sustainable living off rap. Now, Mike didn't completely turn his back on rap. He kept dropping projects and still intermittently unveils a Lucy today, but that's no longer his focus, as he also dedicates his time to being a business owner after learning a trade. For the past 15 years, Mike has overseen his own company in Embassy Locksmiths, which his LinkedIn claims provides complete licensed and insured locksmith and advanced security products and services, from simple cylinders to card readers, intercoms and buzzers, to video surveillance and safes for both residential and commercial needs. When he initially suggested it, people couldn't comprehend his plan, but you can bet that a lot of his peers who ridiculed him for this plan now wish that they committed the time and energy that he did.
They all thought I was crazy. right. But they couldn't see what I could see. And I always remembered the guy who taught me telling me, he's like, take a look at that lock. Take a look at that door. Ask yourself how many doors are in New York City. How many locksmiths clear $1 million before exit? Oh my God. And then to me, that was all I needed.
When you're at the peak of the game, being a rapper is among the best jobs imaginable. But if this video proves anything, it's that it can be fleeting. So if you ever find yourself lucky enough to be making real money from music, make sure to stack some of it or invest it wisely. Because once the hype dies down, things can go left real quick. As always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.